Hello. Davie Portman here. Up next for postwrestling.com. You can find us every Wednesday night on Up Next, wherever you find your podcasts. We also have our Patreon, patreon.com/upnext. But tonight we are on YouTube, and that is not for NXT, but for Impacgt Wrestling and Slammiversary. So I thought I'd bring in the Impacgt expert tonight, John Cno Evil. John, how are you doing?
What's up, upNXTs? This is not Braden Harrington. This is John Siino here, reporting live.
Exactly. So youtube.com/upnext. We tend to do these watch-alongs for as many pay-per-views as we can, whether it be AEW, NXT, WWE, New Japan, if the hours allow us to. And yeah, this is our first Impact one. How excited are you for the show tonight, John?
I'm pretty excited. I mean, I haven't really remember this much hype for Impact in a while with this whole mystery angle, and they've been playing these vignettes the last couple weeks or so. It's interested to see how they're going to treat the first empty arena pay-per-view. Maybe they'll have fans, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll keep doing what they've been doing recently. It's hard to say, but we'll find out soon.
Yeah, that was something
As
I was
my
wondering.
FBI screening came on my screen right now, so we'll see the show's about to start.
Just come on now, yeah. Yeah, that's something I was wondering, how they're going to try and make this seem different from one of their regular Tuesday night shows. But yeah, I think they've done a pretty good job. Obviously, they've been dealt a pretty rough hand with two of your main eventers being out of the main event and actually out of Impact. I kind of feel a bit sorry for Eddie Edwards because he kind of doesn't really have a storyline now going into this match, whereas Trey and Ace Austin kind of had their feud going, but Eddie was tied up with Tessa and Michael Elgin. Right, we're starting. Okay, I've got my feed going.
Yeah, they've been showing these mystery things the last couple weeks to kind of repeat it, and now, they're showing some kids. It looks like some kids wearing hoodies.
When? Tonight.
Weeks ago, we first reported here that a former world champion would be making his return.
Just trying to get my stream to work properly. See the kids. They Heaths kids.
It still remains a mystery.
Well, I know I sent you a couple of the snapshots from the promos they've been showing, but there was a picture of 3 little redheaded kids. I'm sure that was for Heath. But they showed a whole bunch of things. They showed the Bulgarian flag. They showed a Canadian flag. You had a fist, kind of like a Zack Ryder type fist.
Oh, they've basically teased everyone that has ever once been with WWE and might have some sort of affiliation from the past with Impact. Nice shots in Nashville. Have you ever been to Nashville, John?
No, I haven't. It's one of the cities I always wanted to go to.
It's a great time. Once all this is over, yeah, get down to Nashville. It's a hell of a lot of fun there.
That's where they've been taping all these shows, right? It's been the same arena in Nashville?
Right, yeah. Yeah, I think we can.
So it looks like they're showing somebody in a black hoodie walking through. Looks like Nashville.
So that's our whiskey man, I guess.
I guess so. They keep going back to the kids.
Strap yourselves in and buckle up. It's going to be an eventful and historic night, and an evening of many surprises. It's Slammiversary.
So as the chat room might know already, Gallows and Anderson already confirmed that they're in Impact and they're going to be here tonight. So
I'm scared.
actually, this might be their match now because the Rascals put out an open challenge and it looks like they're coming out now for that match.
Yeah, that's. You said you think it's going to be Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins?
I think so for this match, and I feel like the 3 mystery people at the end will be Gallows and Anderson, and I think they're going to introduce Kenta, who's here stuck in the States. That's just a theory that I have, and I feel like Kenta might...
I like it. I know you said that on Rewind to SmackDown, and John and Wade couldn't see that happening, but I mean, I'm trying to think who could be a big deal, you know? Like, I think of all the ones sort of that have left WWE that we're maybe expecting, EC3 is probably the biggest, but I feel that they've built this up so much that they kind of need to deliver here.
Yeah, I feel like EC3 has been really too vocal on Twitter to the point where it won't even be a surprise if it's him. I feel like that would just be like, okay, I kind of already knew that. Like, it doesn't seem like it would be a big shocking.
Yeah, exactly. Just having a little problem with the YouTube chat here. Just trying to... Oh, shit, I know what I did.
Okay, I see who the surprise is. I don't know if you see it.
No, you're a little bit ahead of me.
But I will...
The Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah, actually, shout out to Benjamin in the chat room who was hoping and predicting all day that it would be the
nice.
Motor City Machine Guns, and he was right, yeah?
That's a good get.
Yeah, we just saw Alex Shelley in NXT a couple, months ago, Rick Kushida.
Yeah, it seemed like he was going to maybe be staying there, but obviously with... He then left because of doesn't he work in like COVID help centers?
Right, the medical field, yeah. Chris Sabin, I could be wrong. I thought he was semi-retired. I could be wrong. Maybe somebody in the chat room
mean
can say the last
in
time
wrestling?
That's true. Nobody ever retires. If anybody in the chat room knows, when's the last time that these two teamed up? I feel like they haven't teamed up in a long time. Because I know Shelley was over in Japan with Kushida. Sabin was injured in the spring. Okay, Andrew McDonald said that Sabin has been injured. Okay.
This should be great though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So here we go, folks.
I know you say you weren't a huge watcher of Impact, but the Motor City Machine Guns were pretty big deal for them.
Yeah, I mean, I've obviously gone back and watched a bunch for the Patreon. We've done a couple of TNA shows now, so yeah, it's nice to see. Oh, they're having audio issues. I don't feel so bad for whenever I have audio issues.
All right.
Then I've got
Yeah,
some
if
YouTube
Impact can't
chat issues at the moment on the stream, but we'll get that fixed.
It's been a real Don Callis heavy month here on upNXT. You had him on the ECW shows, and now you have him on
That
Impact.
seems to happen a lot, like without us even realizing. Like we never really meant to do a kind of extreme month, and that kind of just happened. And then we find the same people just keep on showing up. Yeah, it's funny how it goes sometimes. Right, let's get this.
Well, I know that Madison Rayne, she has a match tonight. That's why she's not doing commentary. But have they explained why Don Callis hasn't been there? I mean, did he, I guess, opt to stay home this whole time?
I don't know. I guess it's just maybe easier because, I mean, obviously, because is he still in the office there?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure him and Scott D'Amore are the ones that are running stuff.
I mean, maybe does he still live in Canada? Maybe that's part of it.
That could be the reason. Yeah.
Let's try and change.
That Sabin looks great. He's lean. Sabin has been itching and waiting to get back inside of a wrestling ring and performing the Motor City Machine Guns here tonight. Absolutely.
Desmond Xavier here with the nice X-Men inspired tights he has.
From the Motor City Machine Guns, watched a lot of their tape, took some of their style from it. So this is over the head trip potentially for the Rascals, being in with guys they looked up to.
There was a little chatter in the chat earlier about how they took away the all the Rascals names. Like Trey used to be Trey Miguel.
Yeah, they got the Vince treatment, right?
They were saying how they can't see somebody with the name Trey be world champion.
Yeah.
I mean, what's wrong with Trey Miguel? It's his name,
Yeah, I don't know.
They're Rascals, Rascals can't have two names. Of course not.
I don't know. It's something in wrestling, right? It's very strange, but I don't know why it is. Maybe it was their choice. I don't know. Works for Cody.
Frank still in the chat says maybe Don Callis is doing commentary from home. That could be the reason why there's audio issues. They haven't really tried this remote audio before.
Oh, that can make sense. I mean, yeah, I can certainly empathize with like audio video issues. Like whenever doing these things, there's always something that that goes wrong. So
yeah, I don't see Josh Matthews anywhere either. So it could be that they're at some other location recording this, because I think the last couple Impact shows they haven't been at the arena either.
The Rascals look like they're working better as a tandem than the Motor City Machine Guns.
Dez and Wentz going to work here. Wentz goes off the back
ooh.
of Saban. First cover of the match, hooks the outside leg.
Question for the chat room: any who do you guys think the mystery person is for the last match? Any predictions?
Felt like 2-on-1 for him this whole match, and we're only about 3 minutes in. Nicely applied.
Coincidentally, today is the 90-day 90-day exclusivity ends, so everybody's eligible as of today. So a lot of people like No Way Jose, Heath Slater were all putting up like promos on Twitter. I know No Way Jose has a totally new gimmick, totally new name and look and everything. Everybody's trying to reinvent themselves. EC3 had like a countdown going on, so today's like the day where everybody's finally free.
What's No Way Jose's new name?
I think he's going by his real name, if I'm not mistaken. His new look is like one side of his hair is like straight, the other side is like braided. He shaved off his beard.
Right. Yeah, I know. Someone, Andrew McDonald said, sadly, he's not dealing coke. I know that was John Way's pitch for him constantly.
Yeah, that would have been perfect. That's a good gimmick for the indies, but I don't know if that's good for TV.
Wait a minute, you call the moves and I make the jokes. Is that how it works?
We got people in the chat room saying Eric Young, EC3.
I mean, how many of these things do you think are long-term contracts, or that you think are just going to be kind of a gimmick for tonight? I mean, I could see maybe it being a mixture of both. I see some people maybe being in for the long run, but do we now have the Motor City Machine Guns are part of the tag division permanently, or is this just for like tonight?
I would hope so, because Impact definitely needs some more teams to fight the North, and Motor City Machine Guns would be perfect. Yep. But I feel like with Shelley's situation, maybe he's not able to sign a long-term deal. That's what I'm guessing, but you never know. Yeah. But now with the indies not being around, I feel like a lot of these wrestlers, if they want to have a steady income, I think the safe thing to do is sign a contract, whether it be a 1-year deal or whatever, because you don't know how the future is going to hold.
In this climate, if there's a company that are constantly filming, why not?
Exactly. Impact tends to do these yellow ropes for their pay-per-views, I've noticed. Every time they have a big show, they seem to go yellow.
So NXT does the white, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, Andrew's saying they definitely need more people, because they obviously do the match of the week every week. Filling time.
Have they explained Rob Van Dam's absence? I mean, he hasn't been seen in a while, right? Ever since
well, I imagine he probably filmed stuff with Joey Ryan.
Right, and they couldn't show any of that.
Being pulled, they're probably trying to figure out what to do with him. So, I mean, he'd have been paid for what
I hope he's not the mystery guy.
In the main?
Yeah.
I can't see that. I think they'll be bringing in someone. I mean, it
could. The way that they hyped it up.
You're not wrong. So, who in the room is just tuning in for Impact tonight because it's a pay-per-view? Who follows the weekly? Who kind of dips in and out? Maybe does YouTube clips? I just want to know kind of what... how many people are watching Impact now?
I got hit up the last 3 weeks by people I hadn't heard from in 20 years in this wrestling industry of ours.
Pay-per-view and weekly from Ben. I know you want Ace and you want Ace Austin to win. I could see it. I could honestly see that, unless you. I don't see it being Trey. I don't see it being Eddie Edwards. you could just strap the Rocket on whoever they're bringing back, or I don't think Ace Austin's a bad choice to win this thing, especially now he's got the heavy in Madman Fulton. Just incredible. Just started watching today.
ECW alumni.
Yeah, we were chatting about you this week. Christina and Alex are in the room. Hey guys, don't normally watch Impact, but thought you'd watch it today. Maxime is here for us. Thank you, Maxime. Oh, we got a bit of business going on in the room. It's great.
John Taylor, he bought the show just to see who will show up. I wonder how many people would do that. Honestly, I mean,
yeah.
Nowadays, a little bit of surprise always works. Might work in their favor.
Ooh.
I think that cover is what you call a message, Josh. Looking out at us and looking out at Dez here. Alex Shelley playing more mind games, and I like it.
I mean, yeah, it was definitely smart of them. If people have bought this pay-per-view just to find out who this mystery man is, definitely smart on them, because they could have announced it, like, especially if it was a big deal, they could have just announced and hyped up the re-debut of someone.
Right.
But yeah, that's what makes me worry that it's going to be someone kind of shit.
Right, because you would think if they had like a really, really big name, they would promote the hell out of it and get people to buy it. The fact that they're leaving it a mystery.
Like, the days of genuine surprise, I mean, obviously we had Edge, but so often they promote ahead of time if, like, The Rock is going to be on this week, or, like, in WWE I'm talking. It's rare you get that genuine pop anymore when someone does a big comeback. Jesus.
That's it. And the Motor City Machine Guns get Lentz at the front and the back, and the Rascals are in trouble, folks.
Well, they don't look like they've lost much, do they?
I think he's out on his feet, Josh.
Lentz desperately needs to make a tag here.
I selfishly don't want the Machine Guns to tie themselves down, because I think they would have hell of matches in both NXT and AEW with all the teams that are out right now. A lot of dream matches. Now that Saban's back.
Ladies and gentlemen, Slammiversary is trending.
But I mean, they could have offered them a pretty good deal, like, as we've mentioned quite a few times, how just the very fact it's the North versus Shamrock and Callihan, because there's really no other tag team on that level. Yep. I enjoy TJP and Fallah Bahh. I enjoy the Rascals, but there's a hell of a lot more they need to do with them before you can put the titles on either of those guys.
Yeah, it's been pretty much like the same combination of teams the last couple weeks with Larry D and Ace Romero.
I feel like
then you have
that match 100 times.
Yeah, it's always like either a triple threat tag team match, or 4-way, or straight up tag team with the same 4 teams. Nothing wrong with the teams, but it's just like, need some new blood in here.
We're seeing some aggression from the Rascals tonight, aren't we?
I think they need to.
Wonder if we'll see that from Trey later tonight in the main event. Alex Shelley back inside.
Yeah, it's weird. I've listened to Don Gallus so much in the last week or two. It's weird just hearing his voice again. Cyrus. Fredo's thinks that we'll see Miro in AEW soon. Yeah, in AEW bound. I had him down for Impact, but obviously the kind of COVID has stalled him there. But I'd love to see him get a good run somewhere, because I've always been a big fan of Rusev. Damn, that looked good.
Yeah, if he would have been the mystery guy, he definitely would have made a pretty big noise. He's one of the biggest names that got released, I would think.
Yeah, Chris Elliott asking as well if we think it would have been Rusev in that main spot.
I think so.
I could definitely have seen that, which could put some weight to your RVD theory.
The thing is, if we see Rusev, I want to see like a totally new gimmick. Like, don't really play up the Bulgarian too much. Just be like more of a straight, himself. Like, he has a lot of personality.
I mean, he was kind of just himself at the end of his run in WWE, wasn't he? He was more your every guy who was just wearing like jeans and t-shirts of bands and stuff like that.
You
You saying wearing t-shirts of bands made me like have this nightmare that the mystery guy could be Eric Rowan.
Oh boy. I hope not.
But you could have a Wyatt guy in every promotion.
Great. The Wyatt's taken over.
Taking over wrestling.
Here's the tag mate. Here comes Chris Sabin. Sabin legal.
I mean, NXT is safe from them at the moment.
Question for the chat room. How many people are watching this tonight and have zero interest of watching Extreme Rules tomorrow? Like, who's actually just going to watch Impact this weekend and nothing else?
This moment. Chris Sabin taking his time. Sabin has Dez on his shoulders. Dez somehow slips up the back. Dez off the ropes. Alex Shelley caught him. Oh!
Oof.
The roundhouse. Oh,
jeez.
And the Motor City Machine.
Oh!
Here comes Wentz.
So we got Benjamin skipping tomorrow. We have John Taylor skipping tomorrow. All right.
Will you come in the room, though?
Christina says, I'm only watching Extreme Rules if there's a watch-along. Well, you are in luck, because tomorrow they will be a watch-along for the horror show.
Oh!
Wentz dove through the goal line down, so to speak. Literally drove Alex Shelley back into that pile. There was no other way.
It's good. I know John's leading the show tonight, so I'm not bothering too much with notes for this one, which is nice.
Yes, to John, we are having a watch-along tomorrow. A lot of people are only going to watch tomorrow if there's a watch-along. So, yeah, we'll be here tomorrow.
Question when it comes to Wentz and Trey recently. Dez hasn't really been as involved in the storyline with Trey being attacked. Have you enjoyed Wentz and Trey's performances? I've quite enjoyed them, but I've thought they've teetered on overacting a bunch. Like both of them have. Ooh. Damn. I mean, I assume that means they're staying. If you're doing that,
at least get a match against the North. You would think they at least have a one-off match against them.
Pick up the victory to kick off Slammiversary 2000.
I mean, I'd be more inclined now, if we're having these guys in the company, I'd be more inclined to keep the titles on the North. Because I put in my predictions, I think it's time to maybe change, just to like freshen things up a bit. But with these guys in the division now, I'd say maybe keep it on them.
So they are in the building.
Are you ready for what's going to happen here tonight? I don't know if I can take much more. And we're only
I was hoping Don Callis was going to bring the little gem he puts on his forehead.
I was just going to ask, where's Don Callis' gem? I'm eating juicy dumplings, they're great.
What's the, which match is the extreme match for tonight? Is it the Tommy Dreamer Moose match?
Yeah, it's old school rules.
Okay, I saw them in the back kind of like putting trash cans filled with items.
Oh, is that now?
By ringside. So
oh, I think so. We'll get another re-debut here.
You think so?
Yeah, the Moose. Oh, for the Moose match, I do think. Yeah.
Maybe even in the Gauntlet match. You never know. You could have like a Gail Kim show up in that match, or one of the beautiful people.
Yeah, because they were shown on the video package, weren't they?
Yeah. So you think Tommy Dreamer would have like somebody, like a substitute for him?
Well, just
or?
the story with Moose saying he's TNA champion, he's like the best. It kind of makes sense for someone to come back and call him out on it. Remember, like EC3's music played a few weeks ago during a Moose segment, that kind of thing.
And you have a lot of people that can play that role. You could have EC3, you could have Rob Van Dam, you could have Eric Young is another name. A lot of former champions that are free now.
Right, while we're running down the card here, let's give some predictions. Let's start with that women's gauntlet match. Who do you see being the new #1 contender?
Huh.
And this goes to the room as well.
I'm going to go with Kylie Ray. That's if Deonna Purrazzo gets the title from Jordynne Grace. I think Deonna and Kylie Ray would have a pretty good matchup out of this.
Yeah, I'm going Kylie Ray as well, but I would think that's something you save for the next pay-per-view. And I know Impact don't have too many pay-per-views. Do you have an idea when the next one will be?
No idea. The one before this one I think was back in January, the Hard to Kill
Yeah.
one with I think that was when Tessa and Sami Callihan, if I'm not mistaken.
So, because they did
I know
they
that
did one on TV, didn't they?
Yeah, they were supposed to do Rebellion, but literally like right when COVID hit, so they ended up changing that to the TV show.
So, I mean, I definitely see Kylie Deonna being the destination, but it's whether winning this gauntlet match you can cash in at the next pay-per-view, because otherwise, if it's a long time, I don't know if that's a match that they'll give away on TV.
Yeah, the chat room is thinking Bound for Glory in October, so not too long.
Okay, so you could stretch it out till then. Okay, so Women's Championship, I'm going with Deonna.
Yeah, Deonna as
Deonna
well.
as well. Joe wants me to put on sunglasses. All right. I'll find him. What else have we got? Moose versus Tommy Dreamer. I'm gonna go Moose, and then maybe have some sort of surprise.
Yeah, Moose for sure.
What else have we got? We've got The North versus Ken Shamrock and Sami Callihan.
That's tough because I could see it go either way. I'm gonna probably say it's gonna stick on the North.
Stick on the North.
Yeah.
I'll stick with Sami Callihan and Ken Shamrock. And then the main event.
It's got to be the Mystery Man. I think anything else would be disappointing.
I agree. I think Mystery Man, I could see Ace Austin. That wouldn't really disappoint me either, but I think whoever you're coming back, if they're a big deal, you kind of got to have them as the champs.
Exactly.
Have I missed anything out?
No, I think that's it.
I just want to
Let
pause.
me check
I
really
fucking
quick.
hate these characters.
Well, Rosemary and
This whole Rosemary
Johnny
Tyre
Bravo.
thing, I'm not a fan.
yeah.
Oh,
it's-
Chris Bay, Willie
it's a
Mack.
little,
Yeah,
tricky.
that's one I'm actually really looking forward to.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying Willie Mack retains. Johnny Swinger screws Chris Bay.
Yeah, I think Willie Mack is definitely going to keep that title.
You're very welcome, Joe. Yeah, we'll keep you informed. Joe's saying he appreciates us guys doing this because he didn't want to pay the money. He dropped 70 last week on UFC. I dropped about that in bets on UFC last week. I do have some going this week. I won't be watching, obviously, but I'll have my mates keep me up to date, see if I'm still in the race. Got a little parlay going. Now, the thing that's always common on these watch-alongs is our little drinking games. Now, that doesn't have to be alcohol. We are not promoting irresponsible drinking here, but sip of water, sip of coffee, sip of milk, sip of OJ, sip of wine, beer, White Claws, whatever you want. But we need some rules, guys. What are the rules tonight for our Impact Wrestling watch-along? John.
Well, Christina, congratulations! You had a baby boy last month, so now you can officially drink again. So you're part of the
absolutely.
drinking game.
Excellent. Every time they mention surprises, I guess that makes sense. Like every time either commentary mentions it or we actually see a new surprise. What's a common trope in wrestling? Maybe running into the corner shoulder first every time we see one of them.
Shoulder first, yeah.
I know that's John Way's favorite.
Well, we're about to get a hardcore match, so how about every time they get hit with a foreign object?
Every
that might be a lot in this match.
Okay. We're not on Kona Watch tonight, unfortunately.
No corner watch.
Irish Whip, that could be dangerous. And yeah, very huge congratulations to Christina and Alex. What is your baby boy's name? I had a baby boy this week. It is a cat, but it's still my baby boy. His name's Ernest. I'm in love. Fourth and final. Nice. Henry, cute. Nice name. Yeah, this match I've really enjoyed the build, but I am not looking forward to the match itself in the slightest. I think Tommy Dreamer's been fantastic on the mic. I think Moose in this character has been absolutely hilarious. like, take aside thoughts of the guy personally. I know he's had a lot of shit going on in social media recently, but I found Moose thoroughly entertaining.
Yeah, I love Tommy Dreamer. I mean, I've been a fan of him since I first saw him in ECW, but I think at this point, kind of how AEW is using managers, I think Tommy Dreamer would be a great manager for him to introduce somebody here, somebody to kind of represent himself or the whole hardcore aspect.
Yeah, I agree. Right, John, I'm going to leave you with the room for a second because I need to get a drink if we're doing that foreign object rule.
Okay. So Tommy Dreamer with the nice Moose Sucks Eggs t-shirt. And that's a throwback to a wrestler. I know somebody had that shirt on. I can't think of who it was. But somebody had a similar shirt with an old school wrestler. The TNA World Heavyweight
Moose
title is the best designed belt.
Eggs.
Yeah, Andrew McDonald said that was Terry Funk had that shirt.
Yeah.
For Dusty Sucks Eggs.
Is this going to be on Pro Wrestling Seas? Well, Impact have their own shop, I believe, don't they? Is it through?
Yeah, but I've seen their shirts through
It is
PWTs.
through-
I know
okay,
they have
they
a couple
probably-
Slammiversary shirts, yeah. Wow, this Moose video is pretty epic.
Oh, a bit of Carmina Burana, I think this is.
Yeah.
I've used this in many promo videos I've made over the years. Frank's pulling for the hometown boy, Tommy Dreamer. Does anyone else love Moose's theme?
It's a pretty good
I
theme.
really-
I'm loving his gear right now. He has a matching gear with the
Yeah.
title and everything. It's perfect.
You egg-sucking dog! Moose. Yeah, I like the kind of strings in his song. It's cool.
Yeah, Moose is getting a little flack in the chat room over his decision on social media the last couple days.
Oh, he's changed the title so it's white.
Yep.
Nice.
I like
Yeah,
it.
he looks good.
Right now, hashtag Slammiversary. And we thank each and every one of you.
Number one trend. Where are we, guys? Are we the number 2 trend?
Ladies and gentlemen, this match is for the TNA World Heavyweight.
Somebody in the chat room, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the TNA title ever had the white strap like that. But it looks pretty
I think
nice.
yeah, it looks really nice. I'm a big fan of white straps. I don't really like the colors, like the reds and the blues and the purples, but just white or black looks very nice.
Moose Nation. He is Mr. Impact Wrestling and a wrestling god, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Moose.
With apologies to Carl Gotch, the actual god of pro wrestling, Moose is now done.
So you have Moose and Impact with the TNA title that's not recognized. You have Brian Cage with the FTW title and AEW that's not
Yep.
recognized. You have MVP walking around with a fake US title, I guess.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, if you want to go back to
new trend.
MLW, you've got Holiday with the Caribbean Championship.
All right. Yeah. I gotta admit, I do miss MLW a little bit. Their shows were pretty consistent.
I really enjoyed
Wrong.
MLW. It kind of reminded me of sort of like 2014 NXT.
Right.
Like a lot of guys you saw coming up, just an hour-long show. Not quite as serious as NXT is now. Yeah, I really enjoyed MLW. I hope they find a way of coming back.
Yeah, they've been recently on YouTube putting up some of like their original shows from like 2002, 2003,
Right.
and it's like right after ECW ended. So actually, it's shot like ECW, and it even has Joey Styles on commentary. But you have guys like Jerry Lana wrestling there. Kojima from New Japan is on there. He was their first champion actually. So some pretty cool stuff to go back and watch. I never got a chance to watch that when they first came out.
Who's booking ML? It's always been Court, right?
Court Bauer, yeah.
Still be doing this and doing it at a
Yeah, Andrew, I think you'd be a fan of MLW. You were the one that picked Ring of Honor Man Up, right, for us. So I could see you being a fan of MLW. Some really good people to look out for on there.
Yeah, Jacob Fatu, I think, is going to be a star.
I kind of feel
they tied him down to a contract, but he's somebody that I think would have went elsewhere pretty quick if they didn't hold him down.
Yeah,
there.
I mean, I feel they need to, because I think anyone who shows like any kind of signs of being a potential star gets snapped up from MLW. Oh.
Yeah, you have the Dynasty with Hammerstone and Richard Holiday. A lot of good talent there. That's where MJF pretty much shined, where I first started hearing about him.
Frank's saying that Jared is still in a legal battle over Global Force Wrestling. I don't...
Yeah.
Isn't it because all the tapes were destroyed? Wasn't that the story?
Yeah, they destroyed him without his consent, yeah.
All, 6 shows they taped?
I'm pretty sure they're still on YouTube. Just grab them. Yeah, Frank. Hopefully, sometime we can go to shows again.
One day.
One day.
I want to know what's the first company, sport, theatre, concert, and someone will probably tell me, oh, this has already been done, but does iPad seats. So you buy your ticket, you'll have an iPad in your seat, and that will be your perspective of everything. Especially with VR, you could definitely just sit at home and be in this virtual concert or show and turn around to the people next to you.
That's a pretty cool idea, yeah. Kind of could look around and see your, yeah. My phone still has set all the shows that are supposed to happen this year. So just the other day, MLW popped up because they're supposed to have a show in New York, I think on Thursday, and it's oh, just a reminder, MLW is coming to your town. I'm just oh, thanks.
Yeah, it's sad. I've seen a lot of people posting on YouTube, on Facebook, oh, I was meant to go and see this concert. I know my birthday present was meant to be going to see My Chemical Romance here in Toronto, but obviously that's not happening.
Yeah, you see all the Snapchats and Instagram memories from last year, when they're at on vacation and this and that. Imagine a year from now, all the memories from this year are gonna be pretty sad.
What I've liked with this story, I did see someone in the room kind of mention this, that Moose should be a bigger star than he is. There is that level of realism with it, right? Because,
oh yeah,
Moose what was the story? Wasn't he going to WWE at one point and then they found some shit on him and didn't?
Yeah, I know that he I want to say did a physical and everything, he was ready to go, and then they found something from his past arrest that kind of stopped that.
Because he's very athletic for his size. He's
really close to Ricochet and a couple other guys. They're really, really close to each other.
Oh yeah, we saw that the other day on social media.
Yeah. A little too close.
We know he's a bit too close with some people, yeah.
But once that happened, Impacgt went ahead and tied him down. He would have been somebody I would love to see in New Japan, I think.
Moose?
Yeah. I feel he's somebody that can kind of find himself over there. Every couple years they have that real big guy that kind of runs shot.
Well, back in the day you had Giant Bernard, didn't you, Albert, who really
Albert
proved
there,
himself over there and made WWE think that he could actually be a good deal, and came with the Tensai thing.
And Lord Tensai, yep.
I find these kind of matches very strange with no crowd. Just when there's no reaction to a cutter through a garbage can.
Yeah, hardcore matches definitely don't work in this aspect.
the top rope, but took too long. Dreamer is tough as nails.
Tommy Dreamer wondering what he has to do next. He's got a steel chair in hand, and right now with the destroyed garbage can, kendo stick, and a...
So is Tommy Dreamer, does he, like, is he a producer for Impact still? I know at one point he was, like, working for them directly.
I would assume so, but he wrestles for them pretty regularly. It's not like this is kind of out of nowhere, because he's been doing the, like, tag matches with Rhino.
Yeah. But then he'll randomly pop up at an AEW show. Like, I've seen him, like, kind of, like, pop up everywhere. So
Well, he
probably
still
has one of
runs
those
his
loose
own
contracts.
House of Hardcore, doesn't he, as well?
Yep, House of Hardcore, yeah.
Might just be on a, like, loose advisory role.
I don't know what's up with Tommy Dreamer's, like, cheekbone. It's, like, really red, and he keeps, like, pointing at it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Was it from that drop kick early?
I think so.
Andrew's asking whether we think they should have had people in the crowd. But it could be like a Tennessee thing that hasn't allowed them.
That's true.
We also don't... I don't know what the testing deal is with Impact. Obviously, people at like WWE and AEW are very much scrutinized with how they're dealing it with tests and stuff. I have no idea. I haven't heard anything about Impact, whether they're testing or not.
Yeah, even around the ring, you don't see that many people. There's
No.
maybe, like, 10, 15 people altogether. There's really not that many.
Don't turn this into a street fight. That's...
Oh, jeez.
Station inside the ring.
Well, I guess I was wrong. That worked out well for Moose. Bit of like a modified Uranagi there on Dreamer. What's this?
Standing moonsault from Moose. There's a cover. Hooks the outside leg on the chairs. And Dreamer kicks out. If you follow Moose on social media, you see him doing those in the pool all the time.
Let's not bury the lead. A 6'5", 300-pound former NFL.
Yeah, Andrew's saying
did a standing moonsault.
He's an incredible athlete. He will not...
Kane fucked up with his county. Well, this is Nashville, isn't it? This isn't Knoxville, but... is it? Yeah, Knox County, isn't it?
Knox County, yeah.
Escape. What is he doing? Is he going all the way up top?
But yeah, I'm a little disappointed in Kane. Kane.
Moose off the second.
Did Josh Masters bring up the fact that we just saw Moose training on social media? Like, is that a good idea to bring up? I feel like he said that. I could be wrong.
Sorry, Josh Matthews put it up.
I think he did. I feel like, we've been seeing Moose's progress from
Oh,
his
boy.
social media training.
Oh, more Kane talk. Yeah, sorry, guys.
Moose somehow slipped the shoulder up in two. Somehow, some way, found some space.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tommy Dreamer and Kane had a couple run-ins with each other.
Like we said, the longer it goes, the more it favors Dreamer.
What's out here now?
Okay, he brought up Josh on social media, and Callis killed that off quick. Okay.
Dreamer is a
Josh hasn't checked his phone in a couple
Okay,
days.
right.
We've seen a lot of different things come out of those
Yeah.
satchels.
maybe some salt.
I wonder if they're gonna...
See, you know, salt in the eyes in a while.
If anything's gonna happen with Moose after this. Like, whether they're just like, let's see this pay-per-view through. I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Like, you can't
I promise you that.
really punish someone for associating with someone, right?
Associating, yeah.
I know, it's very difficult.
Look to put away Moose once and for all here. Old school rules.
Never be able to get him up.
I think it's more of Moose's comment that he put up
It's legal.
that might get him in trouble, if anything.
Yeah.
Right in front of the referee.
I mean, you...
Because he's the only one that actually commented on, and nobody else, like, said anything, but he actually, like, trying to, like, tried to defend his friend.
I mean, surely you gotta... Like, you gotta know what's going on, right?
I would think so.
Look at this. He's trying to shove Dreamer's face. Oh, God.
I think Impact is trying to beat WWE, and he's going to lose an eye.
Oh,
His eye. Not his eye. God, this is
what's it with eyes this year? Come on! Oy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of whenever they have, like, movies or shows, like, where they kind of put things in eyes, like, whether it be needles or
Yeah.
whatnot.
Oy.
right in the eye of Dreamer. That's old school.
Ooh.
Hands first. Neck first into the thumbtacks that he introduced to this match.
How old is Tommy Dreamer now?
He's got to be close to 50.
Yeah.
I would think. Let's see.
I feel he's kind of always looked the same.
It's 49. Okay. Yep.
Okay, there you have it. Not bad, a bit better than I thought it was. I mean, Dreamer always can take a lot of punishment and babyface himself very well.
Yeah, it wasn't too over the top.
It was about the length it needed to be. Are we getting some kind of angle now? That's what I want to know.
Sitting on a table, proclaimed himself the champion, but he was able to defeat Tommy
Moose
Dreamer here tonight. So Moose will continue to be TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting word something's happening. Our own Gia Miller is skating by.
How about we take a shot every time we see Gia Miller on screen interviewing somebody? That works.
Johnny Swinger in the house.
Johnny Swinger. Are you familiar with Johnny Swinger's past? Like, he's been around forever. He was in WCW, ECW, WWF. Like,
Really?
He's been around for a long time.
No,
yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, he was never like a top player at all. He was just kind of like enhancement slash lower card.
Right.
This is probably his biggest mic time he's ever got is in Impact right now, probably.
All right. Gauntlet match.
Yeah, I know they teased on the last Impact. Susie did like what Su Young's finishing move, so they're teasing her possibly transforming
that's
back to.
Like, I mean, if she transforms, maybe that could be the direction you go. Because they've been teasing it a bunch the last few weeks, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Parisi. Dark Lotus thinks that he was Buff Bagwell. Yeah, actually, the face I can definitely see. I think this girl's great. Tasha Steeles, I've been loving her and Kira Hogan together. I think they're awesome. So much, like, confidence. And have been having good matches.
Yeah, Impact has probably one of the best women's divisions. When I used to go to the Evolve shows, usually before Evolve, they would have a doubleheader with Shine, which is all women's wrestling, and pretty much all of the women that are in Impact right now are from the Shine division. So I'm familiar with a lot of them. Kira Hogan, Tasha Steeles, like they all came from there, and I know for sure like they're some of the best women's wrestlers out there. So I'm happy to see them on the platform now.
Yeah, no, I'm always a big fan of the women's division in Impact. Like I think Tasha Steeles, Kira Hogan, Kylie Ray have been awesome. Jordynne Grace obviously hasn't wrestled a bunch recently, but she's great. Deonna Purrazzo is a great get.
Yeah.
I'm not always too into like Rosemary and Havoc and Nevaeh. I haven't seen a bunch of, but they've got some really strong women there.
So this is like a gauntlet match. Okay, so they start with two people.
So this could go on quite a while.
Yeah.
What's time now? 8:47. Everybody.
So here we go.
Oh, do you think they're going to have Kylie Ray
mentioned-
just run the gauntlet
You think so?
and then get beaten at the end by Su Young? Does Susie do the Mick Foley gimmick? Maybe.
She comes out twice. You never.
Comes out, gets beaten as Susie, and then comes out again as Su Young. Maybe.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Andrew McDonald says Kylie Ray is the Pikachu to Susie's Mimikyu, if anyone gets that reference.
It's certainly not advantageous, Josh, but I'll say this. Both of these young ladies are tremendous athletes, well-conditioned. They're up for the...
You know, somebody in the chat room mentioned how Tasha Steeles was recently in NWA. NWA had a pretty good women's division as well.
Do you think we'll be seeing that come back in its form?
NWA? Oof. I don't know. They had a couple of issues as well. I know Billy Corgan said that, you know, they're not going anywhere. They're going to come back eventually, but I was enjoying them. I mean, it was different.
Yeah.
It was very different than everything else. That's what kind of
Of the knockouts competing in this match,
grabbed my attention.
Madison Rain, Rosemary, and Taya Valkyrie have all captured knockouts gold.
But a lot of those guys, like, being stuck there with no TV, like, they're going to be stuck in purgatory. Like, Nick Aldis should be part of a major company
He
right
should,
now.
yeah.
Thunder Rosa is there. Like, she's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world right now.
Mentioned Taya Valkyrie, longest reigning knockouts champion of all time. Rosemary won the title in 6 sides of steel.
So,
Havoc was actually never
why is the referee outside of the ring? Is that in every match, or am I just don't understand that now?
John was saying on... Was it Rewinded Dynamite? Oh, yeah. It's like a countdown. It's more like a rumble.
Okay, so it's not like a traditional gauntlet where you get eliminated and the next person comes in.
So
Okay.
is it over the top rope then?
I guess. I mean, the fact that the referee is outside of the ring, I'm guessing it is like elimination over the top.
Oh.
Maybe somebody in the chat room can break down Impact's knockout gauntlet rules. As
Okay, so we got...
Johnny Valkyrie is in the ring.
Okay, it's over the top rope until the final 2. Thank you, Andrew.
Okay.
So you got
All right,
Johnny
so that's a little
Bravo
different. I
next
like that.
as Taya Valkyrie. Great.
Yeah.
I hate this
Yeah,
shit.
it's just what we need in wrestling in
Yeah.
2020 is a man dressing as a woman coming to the ring.
Great.
What was the point
Yeah.
of that? This is honestly like, why even waste your time? There's no fans. You can't get a pop. Like,
So now they just said that Taya Valkyrie's been eliminated. So maybe Taya's actually out of the
Oh.
match.
maybe she's not. Yeah, maybe she can't wrestle.
Finally going for a high five in a wrestling match. What is that?
From Seattle, Washington, Kimberly. Kimberly calls herself the crown.
How do you feel about Kimberly, Davey? I know we saw a little bit in NXT, but we never really got to see her in her full potential.
The crown jewels, which were
I like her kicks and stuff. I think she always looks pretty impressive with them, although that one didn't look great. I can't get over her look. I think it looks really cheap, and I just feel
Yeah.
I feel if you're in this position, like, you need to put the money in and get some decent gear.
That was one of her issues at NXT. Like, I feel like she didn't really have like a steady look. Like, she kept switching. Like, one week she was kind of like a princess or like a fairy, and then she kind of would switch a more grunge look. Like, she never really connected.
Yeah, I mean,
She's a great wrestler. I mean, I've seen her
yeah,
wrestle. Like,
like,
she's really
I
good.
think she's been good in her matches. Just it's one of those things. Like, presentation's important. I mean, look at these two girls, Kylie and Tasha. The gear like looks good. I know I sound like WH here, but it doesn't even, to me, it's not about your size or anything like that. It's just how you present yourself, and yeah. It just doesn't make me feel like you could be a star. And maybe that's unfair.
Kira Hogan is somebody I'm shocked that NXT or WWE didn't pick up a long time ago.
Fantastic.
Like, everything about her is great.
Jeez.
I have no idea. I think he was avoiding the question. And now goes
Brandon from New Jersey has joined us.
Hello.
What's up, Brandon?
Kira Hogan's
Brave
forearms look great there.
Soldiers. Yes, we are watching Impact.
the countdown is on, folks. Who's coming next?
Can I just check how the sound is for me in the room? Just seeing the levels look kind of high on OBS. I just wanted to check it's all sounding good. Kira Hogan was a YouTuber who was a fan of TNA. So maybe I can enter next year's Knockouts Battle Royal Gauntlet. It sounds good. Awesome. Thank you.
Brandon, I look like DJ Khaled because my barbers will refuse to cut my beard. That's why.
You do look like DJ Khaled.
So I'm growing out my quarantine beard.
Amazing.
Another one. By the way, I couldn't find your bourbon that you recommended, Brandon, so I had to stick with a Bud Light Strawberry Seltzer.
what was the bourbon?
But I'm going to look out for that Jefferson bourbon. He recommended a Jefferson bourbon.
Okay.
I tried looking for it. Couldn't find it.
I know Brand from New Jersey loves his bourbon. Keeps on saying he's going to send us some J.R. Ewing bourbon for John. Oh, is Tasha out? Tasha's out.
That's a surprise to me, John. So Tasha steals out.
What do you mean, Brandon? What do you mean? What's the major key?
And it's time for our next
Like the major drawing point. It's the they've been hyping up a mystery man in the main event for the last couple months. They're saying it's a former WWE talent or world champion. So that's been a lot of talk about who it could be. So a lot of people are tuning in just to see who the big surprise is.
She got the tip on gold.
But the fact that Katie Forbes is here, maybe my Rob Van Dam idea isn't too far-fetched now.
Katie Forbes, folks. We call her an attraction of sorts. What you done?
I have no comment.
And she's shaking hands with close on there by Katie Forbes. Here comes Kimberly.
You guys think W.H. Park is a fan of Katie Forbes' ring gear?
From Katie Forbes. Here, Hogan, gonna try to make any friend?
Funny story about Katie Forbes. A couple years ago at WrestleMania in Dallas, I took a random picture with a really, really drunk Marty Jannetty, and some random girl just ran into the picture. I had no idea who it was. Then years later, I looked through my pictures, and I look at the girl, and it's Katie Forbes. I'm like, oh, shoot, okay, I had no idea who she was at the time, but...
What was that all about?
Yeah.
Explain to the people what twerking is, Josh. I don't really understand it.
Is okay. That was kind of sloppy. All of that.
Ohio, Madison Rain. So Madison Rain announced on commentary that she was.
I've been a big fan of Madison Rain's theme song. I don't know why. Ever since she started using it, something about her
Yeah,
song.
it's a bit slow.
It's different. It's not your traditional...
Yeah, Chris, we both watched about 2 minutes of that. Joey Ryan released a. It was the pre-show to Slammiversary, I guess.
Yeah. He basically was denying everything. He said he had proof. He was told not to speak on social media publicly about it until now. Yeah. I'll try to find a summary of it later. I didn't feel like watching 58 minutes of him talking.
Feel there's too much talent in the match for all this, like, shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, too much going on. Yeah, it's not... With all this talent, like, it's a lot of people... Like, let's just say you haven't been watching Impact in months, and you've been hearing about their women's division, and you tune in and you see this.
This isn't a good
they're kind of like...
showcase.
It's not a good
No,
showcase.
not at all. Hey, Braden.
Like, no offense to Katie Forbes, but she shouldn't be, like, in this, you know? Like, it's,
No.
Braden Harrington in the chat room. What's up, Braden?
And not having any fun here with anybody tonight. Look at this. Oh! Kiera Hogan down. Susie, say hi.
You talk about a match that's perfectly situated for Havoc. This is it. Just destroy people.
And Havoc has Kylie Ray. Choke slam.
I'm going to take a drink every time somebody's eliminated. Try to hype it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's a
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in this. I know, like, big multi-person matches are always kind of hard to do. I'm hoping once you get down to, like, your main four. Have they said how many people are going to be in this? All right, now we've got Tyre.
No, not that I know. Tyre Valkyrie looking like Timothy Q. Mouse from Dumbo.
Yeah.
She's dressed tonight as Captain Hook.
Captain Hook.
No, they
okay.
haven't said Captain. Oh, she would go for Captain Hook. Okay, that makes sense. Why Johnny was Smee?
Yes.
He was dressed
I'm
up
with
as
you,
Smee with a
yeah.
little alligator. Okay, that makes sense now.
And Taya Valkyrie, former Knockouts champion, holds the distinction of the longest reigning Knockouts champion in company history.
So Andrew McDonald was in Japan with the match featuring Masato Tanaka and Ishii.
Oh,
Wow.
damn.
In 2013.
Yeah, we saw that on Cage Match. We definitely need to check that out. How was it, Andrew? Dark Lotus, I believe, was Abyss in the layoffs with WWE? I think he's still there, is he not?
I think he's still a producer.
Yeah, I think he's still there. Or even if not, he was furloughed, which kind of means he'll probably come back. I think most of the producers were furloughed, right? I can't remember.
I think so. But they started to bring some of them back, I think.
Do we have any
Alicia.
surprises in this match?
She's spooky, isn't she now?
Well, we had Katie Forbes, man. How much bigger of a surprise can you want? So I saw Tom Lawler on the New Japan Lionsgate Collision show yesterday, and he was wearing the same exact tights that Alicia has, the little jean tights. Same exact thing.
Did they suit him? Did he look as good as Alicia does here?
Close.
Close?
To
Okay.
it, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, Alicia's not good.
Yeah. She like disappeared and then came back out of nowhere. But she's never been the best
She's
wrestler.
with Eddie Edwards, right?
Yeah, it's his wife. You have a lot of wives in this match right here. Josh Matthews' wife and Rich Swann's wife is there. Rich Swann is still injured, right? They still.
Sorry, who's injured?
Rich Swann, he's still
I think
injured.
so, yeah. John Taylor says Filthy Tom in booty shorts is the best thing in 2020. I mean, there's not much good going for 2020, so maybe you're right. Who have we got left to come into this?
Rosemary, right? Is Rosemary in it?
Right.
I think that might be it from who they announced.
Yeah, they
But
haven't
a
said
surprise,
like a 20
Gail
woman
Kim
or 10
somebody.
woman or anything, have they? They've just said gauntlet.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Christina knows. She says that's not saying much about 2020. What are you mixing your vodka with, Christina, or are you just having it straight up? From the Valley of the Shadows. She's come as an ent, has she? I don't know. She's like a tree.
This show is live or is it taped?
I don't know.
Only because they could do the whole lights off, lights on, and then Su Yung is magically in the ring. Like they can pull that off if it's taped.
I mean, it might be a mixture of both. I kind of don't see what the purpose of going live is when you don't have a. Oh, but
there's a countdown.
We've had the sound issues, haven't we? Which kind of makes me think it is live. But some of it might be taped.
Okay. I know I'm a little ahead of you, but I'll wait till you catch up.
Again. Oh, is this Johnny Bravo again?
I think so. Yeah.
Because he's got a little crush on Rosemary, I think, right?
Yeah. That was a quick wardrobe change.
Oh, Christina, vodka with pink lemonade. My girlfriend loves pink lemonade, so quite often I'll mix that if I've got some vodka in the freezer. Very nice.
Fredo in the chat room says, "For fuck's sakes, we don't need this bullshit." I have to agree. With this division, this is like the last stuff they should be doing. All this silliness. This is a bad look. I'm sorry. Like I hyped this show up, and like you guys have to watch Impacgt. Impacgt is not the old TNA. It's a lot better now. Their women's division is amazing, and then they pull like stuff like this. It's a little upsetting.
Yeah, this is shit. Is he it for
the people coming out? I hope not.
Why does she feel bad about eliminating Johnny Bravo? Or did she eliminate someone else? Oh, it's Susie.
So if Johnny Bravo could have a wardrobe change, why can't Susie?
Yeah.
Another veteran move by Madison Rain.
She's gone. Madison Rain has been eliminated. So Madison Rain will not become #1 contender for the Knockouts Championship here tonight, eliminated by Kylie Ray.
This is really disappointing.
It's
like, especially when, like, I think with the whole mystery thing, they do have more eyes maybe than they normally would. This is just kind of embarrassing.
Like, you save this stuff for TV. You don't save this stuff for when you have the most eyes on you.
really, you could have had a 8-woman elimination match or something like that if you wanted to feature a bunch of people and just get your best in it. But yeah, this is rubbish. John Taylor said, yeah, if Impact is trying to win back lapsed fans like me, this is not how you do it. Completely agree. Wrestling Mixtape says, what? DJ Khaled likes TNA Impact?
And PewDiePie, so I guess you're PewDiePie and I'm DJ Khaled. According to him.
Got that, what, is he Swedish? Got a Swedish thing going on?
I don't know, I know he does like YouTube videos, I've seen him,
right?
a glimpse of him, but... So, for the entrance, like, that was the big surprise, Johnny Bravo as Rosemary, okay.
Yeah. This is shit.
Unless there's no rules and somebody could just come out whenever they want.
I mean, the clock's been off for a while now, right?
Yeah.
See a lot of regulars here, but I also see a lot of names I don't recognize. Is this anyone's first watch-along here with us? This has got to be Kylie, right?
I really hope so.
Ty and Rosemary are going to fuck each other over. Yeah, Frank, I agree. This is just lazily stretching out the show.
Kylie Ray is being punished right now. Well, Kylie Ray's niceness,
and this match is just too long.
Yeah.
Way too long.
Almost since the outset.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, she has.
Long time, first time watch along viewer, Frank.
Thank you, Frank.
Welcome.
Nice for you to join. We won you over with this match. It was this match that brought you here tonight.
She can hold Kylie Ray there until forever. Oh, look at that! Taya Valkyrie. Rosemary has been eliminated.
Taya just screwed over her sometimes friend Rosemary.
What are your thoughts on Taya, John?
I was a big fan of her in Lucha Underground when she was with her husband, John Morrison. I don't know, something about her in Impact, I feel like she's kind of just been held in standstill. She hasn't really been progressing. She's been like the same character the whole time.
Yeah.
And I think ever since her husband left Impact, she's kind of been lost with Johnny Bravo. They have her paired up in this comedy duel with him.
Wants to be in the mix, wants to be in the conversation. Taya Valkyrie has Kylie up.
Hi, Jeremy. Thanks for joining us. Oh, jeez.
Destroys Taya. Bam with a super kick. Kylie Ray to the cover.
Oh, yeah, it's pinfall now. All right, okay. Oh, that was bad.
That could have easily just been a one-on-one Taya versus Kylie match.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they want... I think they wanted the Johnny Bravo thing because they've got that kind of sort of weird love triangle going on with Taya and Rosemary, right? But... Oh, my feed's just gone down. But you could have had... you could have just had him at ringside. In fact, my Fight Network's just gone down. Let's try and get this back up.
Yeah, somebody else in the chat room said the same thing. Mine froze up for like a second, but it seems to be okay.
This video file cannot be played. Why?
2 people in the chat room said the same thing. Andrew McDonald.
Oh, is this a Canada thing? Yeah, it crashed. Okay, it seems to... Stream crash for anyone?
Oh, shoot. It crashed at the wrong time because we have a former WWE wrestler just came out.
Oh, fuck. They broke the internet.
Yeah. Should I say it? I mean, I don't want to spoil it for anybody who's not watching, but you guys let me know.
Because we're like 2 minutes.
You guys want me to keep you progressed?
I don't know. In Pro B, it's just like crashed for a bunch of us. It seems.
Okay, Andrew McDonald says say it. So
all right, go for it.
Heath Slater. Heath Slater is in the ring right now.
Nice. What's he going as now? Heath.
He has the free agent shirt on. The microphone is having issues, so you can't really hear what he's saying.
Oh, well.
He's going off. He seems really angry.
Let's see if alternative means are working. Like, this is so stupid. Why do you...
Sorry, so it's not just me hearing the mic issues. His mic is like really off right now. From what I hear, he's basically saying how there's an open spot in the main event, and he thinks that he should be the 4th person in the match.
Okay. Alright, yeah, I found it by alternative means. I'm probably a couple of minutes behind right now. But,
Okay.
yeah, Heath's literally just come out where I am, trying to get the Fight Network back up and working. Like, how stupid, though? How can things like Watch Wrestling have it fine? And the site you've actually purchased from crashes. It's so bad.
Yeah.
And this isn't the first time this happened. This happened with Double or Nothing. Yeah.
Oh, really?
And it quite often happens on the WWE Network as well. You can find a better stream online. It's ridiculous, but it seems to be back up and working now.
That doesn't make any sense.
I hope. Yeah. Oh, great. Rohit Raju.
Yeah, so basically Heath jumped over the guardrail. You know, they acted all surprised. He grabbed the mic, said as an opening spot he wants to be in the match, the main event, which probably indicates that he won't be in the match.
So.
It's got to be somebody big now. I mean, the fact that Heath Slater showed up in the middle of the show, it's got to be somebody huge.
I mean, we're gonna have this? Are we just gonna have an impromptu match between these two guys that never win matches?
Probably. I mean, Heath Slater wrestled in his jeans like 2 weeks ago on Raw, so he can wrestle in his jeans tonight.
Wrestled for a whole 10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, after Drew McIntyre, only person you can wrestle is Rohit Raju, so why not?
NASCAR dude, Moose won, if anyone hasn't informed you of that yet.
TMF says, who's the mystery person? So far, we had the Motor City Machine Guns showed up in the Tag Team Open Challenge. We have Heath Slater show up for an impromptu match, it looks like, with Rohit Raju. So it looks like the mystery man in the main event is still a question. Okay, so it's not a match per se. They're just kind of brawling in the ring.
What are your thoughts on Rohit, John?
He's another guy that just hasn't been used properly. I mean, he's kind of like been the butt of the joke, I feel like. You know, he's the last resort mystery partner for people and just kind of hanging out in the back room, just working out, but he never doesn't really been able to show his full potential.
And Heath beat him up.
And he has theme music, so I guess he's signed to Impacgt.
Dark Lotus, I don't know if Scott Steiner will be wrestling again. He almost died beginning of the year, right?
Yeah, he had a heart attack, right? At an indie show? TMF, yes. The Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin came out, and they fought the Rascals in the open challenge, and they won the match.
Oh.
Did anybody catch what they called Heath Slater? Because I know they can't use Heath Slater, but his real name is Heath Miller. Is that what he went by?
He's going by.
I know they said Heath. I heard him say Heath a ton, so I don't know.
Maybe they just called him Heath. He'll join the Rascals.
Just Heath? There we go. Heath, Trey, Dez, and Wentz. That works.
Oh, we're going to the X
Frank
Division
Gilfillan. This is a brutal way to be reintroduced to Impacgt. Yeah, I could say that maybe with the last two matches. The opening tag match was really good. The hardcore match was okay for what it was. I mean, it wasn't the best match, but it could have been a lot worse.
It was the right place in the card,
The women's
right?
match
Second on, didn't outstay welcome.
Josh said Heath. Okay, Heath Miller. Okay, so they called him Heath. All right.
Yeah, I mean, this is what the show needs at this point. This should be a really good match. I really like both these guys. I see Chris Bay. I could definitely see him in NXT in a couple of years. Willie Mack, I've always liked. I think he kind of lacks a bit of personality, but he always puts on quite entertaining matches. So I think these two should really pull it off. But I worry, especially after the stupidity of the last match, that this might be quite overbooked with Johnny Swinger here.
See, Willie Mack, I feel the same way that I feel for him as I do for Taya, where I saw them at like this crazy full potential on Lucha Underground, and then when they're in Impact, they're just not being used the correct way. So I know what Willie Mack can do. I know what Taya can do, and it's like they're being limited here. I feel
was
like.
it? Was it John Morrison? He had the match with that Ultimate Lucha 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
He had a lot of good matches. Yeah.
They had this like crazy brawl. Yeah, I saw a lot in him back then.
He's another guy that was pretty much signed to NXT, and then he failed a physical, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But he was pretty much on his way there also.
And I believe he said he thinks it's because someone else who kind of fit his bill was signed. So
yeah, the rumor is that Apollo Crews was supposedly like
Apollo,
already filled the role.
Similar time. Two big dudes who can do standing moonsaults. Hey Ben, how is the relaxing going for you? Andrew thinks Chris Bay would be overlooked in NXT. I don't think right now is the time for him to go. I mean, obviously he's contracted here to Impact, but like I feel there'd be too many people similar to him. But maybe when you have like Swerve move up, like I see similarities with him and Swerve in kind of like their moveset and stuff. I could see him filling that role, and actually maybe see a bit more in him because he's got a great like cocky attitude, which I think comes across very well.
Yeah, Chris Bay is a lifelong fan. I mean, he has a wrestling ring tattooed on his chest. He has this video of him like when as a little kid he collected every single like TNA like replica title. So it's obviously a big deal for him to be here. Improby asked, what do you think of Johnny Swinger stuck in the 80s character? I think he could chill with the ring rat references. Other than that, he has a couple funny lines here or there, but some of the things he says could, in this day and age, be taken out of context.
From the Bay Area, ABA, the ultimate finesser.
And apparently with the UFC, I've already lost my first fight in my parlay, so so I'm out of that. I really need to start making money and not spending money. Wrestling Mixtape loves Johnny Swinger. He thinks he's awesome. What do you love about him, Mixtape? Benjamin thinks Bay and Austin are the future of TNA.
Yeah, I have to hear on a daily basis. I'm friends with Benjamin. I have to hear from a daily basis how Ace Austin is the future of Impact. No matter what I say, Ace Austin is the future. So
I see a lot in both guys. I do. So I don't think that's an outlandish statement to make.
And he's young. He's only 24 years old.
Who, Bay or Austin or both?
Ace Austin, I think, is like 24. But Chris Bay's got to be pretty young, too. Chris Bay's 24 as well. Okay.
Willie Mack's doing the like, weird eye
actually.
lenses thing again.
Yeah, he does that every once in a while. He brings those out.
I feel it's kind of dated.
Wrestling Mixtape says, I like Ace Austin. He'll win the title and then he'll leave like everybody else does. I mean, that's kind of been Impact's thing, yeah. Build up yourself and then go get more money somewhere else. I mean, that's how it should be realistically. The bad guy Willie Mack, he does have Razor Ramon inspired gear, doesn't he? That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Actually, Willie Mack, in a different life, could have played NFL football.
Nice.
Oh! Fizz press and a half there by Willie Mack.
Willie Mack was a huge TNA
Good start.
back in the day. Don, he watched the weekly pay-per-views every single Wednesday night. He was right in front of his TV watching those shows.
You know what his favorite match was? Don Callis versus Eric Watts.
Where's everyone's kind of excitement level for this match? I'd say this was maybe my third most anticipated match, maybe.
Yeah, this is definitely.
I'd say
up
the
there.
women's main. I'd
think
say
this-
the two main title matches are the ones I'm most interested in for.
I think this is definitely like the number one wrestling, straight up wrestling match I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to. Oof,
Ooh,
that was bad.
I watched something and it just makes me face.
I remember right before he debuted on Impact, Chris Bay had a match on 205 Live. I
Oh, did
remember
he?
Way back, like about a year ago or so.
Ah.
So it's pretty recent.
John Taylor. This was his second most anticipated match outside the main event. Benjamin Kogel said 5.75 out of 6. So yeah, people are looking forward to this one. What were your thoughts on that neck breaker?
Oof, that was things like that are hard to watch. Like I know they know what they're doing for the most part, but seeing it and not knowing for sure that they're okay is always in the back of my mind.
There was that thing on AEW this week where JR just goes, "What a dangerous move," where he sounds kind of pissed off about it. Don Callis sounded the same there.
With that triple craziness off the shoulders.
Improby's asking our thoughts for main event. I think you're saying Kenta. Am I right?
Yeah, I'm going with Kenta.
I'm
Yep.
just going to go EC3. I think they're going to... I was going to say play it safe. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be some huge thing. I think EC3 is probably the biggest they can do.
I mean, if they keep kind of putting in little surprise like they did with Heath Slater and the Motor City Machine Guns, they do that throughout the night, and at the end of the day we have like 5-6 more names, then the main surprise doesn't have to be too huge, I don't think. They could always hype up like all the names that debuted tonight.
Oh, Moneybags thinks Eddie Edwards could win the title tonight. He's the one I just don't see winning. Him and Trey...
Yeah. He's the one they really
Him and
haven't been
Trey are the
pushing,
ones
yeah.
I'm like... I really feel bad for Eddie Edwards going into this match, to be honest. Just, his whole feud has been just snatched away from him, and he's kind of having to build it just on a couple of videos sent in.
So now that Heath Slater is here, what do you think his ceiling is in Impact? Do you see him as like a world champion potential?
You know, I'd love to see him taken seriously, because I've actually always been a fan of whenever Heath Slater actually gets the opportunity to work. I've liked, but he's so often played this comedy character. I don't think you'd have to build him up. He's not a guy that you can throw right into the main mix, but with promo, like he proved on Raw the other week that he's got a promo in him, like a serious one. If he can put on some
he's
good
got to
matches,
fulfill the 3
it's
and
like
B.
something that 6 months time, maybe.
He's got to fill the 3 and B prophecy, right? Go to Impact, win the world
Exactly, yeah.
championship, get jacked, go to the Indies.
100%. Yeah, Moneybag saying the same. Climbs the ranks, gets the championship, goes back to WWE, becomes champion.
Did you hear what Carl Anderson said about Triple H on his podcast just the other day? He mentioned how like about a year ago or so, like when they were renegotiating their contracts, Gallows and Anderson, how Triple H was like, whenever I see you, Carl, I see your kids, and I can't see you going somewhere else. Like, why go to AEW? Something that can't be guaranteed forever. When WWE will be here forever. And then 6 months later, they released them. So he kind of like, it was one of those things like, you built me up, you made me sign this big contract, saying how you need us here, and then you just fire us anyway.
I mean, I think part of it as well was when they looked at the contract they gave him, they're like, why are we paying these two this amount of money? Because they had a huge deal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because they came in with AJ and Nakamura. It was like the 4 big names that were hyped up from New Japan.
Could you see Heath in this division?
X Division?
Or you think it kind of goes
maybe to
against
start
the
with?
sort of, like... Because this is like the up-and-comers, isn't it, this title?
It could be, but if you also see that, other people have held it in the past that have been bigger names or well-known names, kind of use it as a stepping stone. I can see Heath Slater maybe starting off in Impact in the X Division just to kind of show off his wrestling skills.
So, TMF, Kenta is under a New Japan contract, but we know Gallows and Anderson have the deal where they can do both. Kenta isn't actually able to. He lives in the US, so it's complete theorizing, and we don't know what the contract details are, but a deal could be made. Who knows?
Yeah, basically my theory was Kenta's stuck in the States. Gallows and Anderson, they're going to go to New Japan. They have the double contract. So they could have asked him for a favor. Say, hey, Kenta's not doing anything right now. Let him wrestle here, and then once he's free, he'll bring Gallows and Anderson in Japan, and they'll head over there. So just an idea to keep him, he's not going back to WWE, so why not have him in Impact where they have some sort of relationship with New Japan?
I mean, I personally, I can see New Japan being like, hey, well, if you're making him champ, do it. And then you've actually got a great, you've got a great story once everyone's back with Evil, Kenta, and Jay White, right?
Exactly. Jay White, he's stuck in the UK?
Australia,
stuck in?
I assume.
Australia? He's stuck in Australia, okay.
Is he Aussie
I'm just
or
thinking
Kiwi?
because all the... I don't know, it's a good question. I think he's from Australia. But I'm trying to think of all the Bullet Club members that are stuck. Like you have GOD are stuck in the States, Kenta's stuck in the States, Jay White is stuck in his home. So yeah, about half the Bullet Club, that's one of the reasons why they had to put Evil there. They just don't have the
I would
names
say
there.
you just put Gallows and Anderson straight into Bullet Club, right?
Yeah, they would have to.
But yeah, no,
GOD have kind of been their own thing anyway, so they could always split off. I know somebody in the chat mentioned a name that hasn't really been brought up at all, but Mike Kanellis, he was a pretty big deal in Impact for a little bit.
yeah, he
before
was someone
went to
else they
WWE.
put on like the flashback to highlight, right?
Yeah, him and Maria.
Eric Young too.
Yep. I know they were teasing Aces and Eights at one point with Bully Ray.
Yeah. How would you feel about like a stable, like an actual serious stable with all these X guys to like help whoever is in the main event win?
Well, that's kind of what EC3 has been pushing. I forgot what the hashtag is, but he basically like kind of rallied up the troops that today, July 18th is the day that we're all free to go. And they all were using like the same hashtag, like him, Heath, No Way Jose. They were all kind of like, putting out promos today saying it's a new day, this and that. So I can see that happening. Make it like a pretty big deal, and they all kind of come out the main event.
Oh, TMF says if it is Kenta, I hope they don't. Oh, this could be it. I think there's still another.
Well, we got a ref bump, so that's a drink.
Ooh. That ref bump was weird. It like didn't do anything.
Yeah, really weird.
Oh!
Yeah, I had to mute my TV. I don't want you to hear the announcement. But that's a pretty good ending.
Okay. And nothing with Swinger. That was weird. Okay. I liked it. I felt there was another gear to that I didn't get to.
Here at Slammiversary, what a reign for Willie Mack, but Bay got it done tonight.
And I don't know if that was just an accident with the ref at the end. I don't know. That
Could have been.
it didn't really seem to lead to the finish, did it?
The reunion is here. So is that where Heath goes straight into the tag team division with Rhino? That's another tag team the North can play.
Yeah.
You could just have the North versus Rhino and Slater, yeah?
Absolutely.
So you already got 2 tag teams pretty much are reformed tonight.
I kind of saw you out there. You look great. You looked really good in the ring.
Moneybag says the 4th man could be Sting. I really hope not. If Sting's gonna come back, please just don't come back to Impact.
I mean, I heard you refer to yourself as the hottest free agent. I think the key term is free agent. Like, you don't actually work for it. And pandemic, social distancing, this is a closed set.
Wow. Scott D'Amore is kicking out Heath Slater.
You're backstage, so I'm gonna have to ask you. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. I mean, look. I know you guys haven't seen each other in a while. You have a minute or 2 to catch up. And then I'm sorry, you're gonna have to leave the premise. So.
Is that FedEx letter he's got there?
Is that what he had in his hand? I didn't
He
even
had
notice.
he had some sort of letter or something.
I'll figure everything out. I'll figure it out. Good. Give me a call.
Tell the kids I said
So
hi.
are they going to do the same gimmick with Heath as when he was not signed by Raw or SmackDown?
I guess
He'll
so.
show
Yeah,
up at AEW on Wednesday.
Just show up to Cody's
Yeah,
Open
why
Challenge
not?
on Wednesday. Right? They might as well.
Have Heath? Yeah,
So we're
I
going
mean
to
that
the
would be a
tag
good
team
first
match?
feud, right? Heath and Rhino, and just show that Heath can be serious.
Against each other, you mean? Or like in a tag team match?
No, against each other.
Against each other? That could work.
Like,
Have them kind of turn on him like I'm not
yeah, and
the same Heath as
have him
before.
be kind of
Yeah.
a bit more serious. Yeah, TMF says I hope they don't mess up with Kenta like they did with Okada and Takahashi.
Okada and Takahashi, yeah.
I think the difference is, I mean, we're also just speculating, we've got to say, but the difference is those guys were like on the up, but they weren't established stars, right? When they went to TNA.
That's true.
This is like pre-Rainmaker Okada. It was when he was on Excursion, I think, right? Whereas Kent is very established, so they'd be idiots. And it's a different office now. But yeah, what were our thoughts on the X Division match, Room? John, what were your thoughts?
I liked it. It was, it could have been a little longer, I think. I feel like it kind of ended out of nowhere. But it was really good. I definitely want to see a rematch.
I
though.
do.
But I think putting the title on Chris Bay is definitely the right choice.
Yeah, I mean, Mac had a pretty short run with it, but I think... I was just surprised not to see Swinger involved in any way. Seeing that seemed to be where the story was going. I liked the match too. I felt there was maybe an extra kind of 3 to 5 minutes it could have done with, just to like really kick it up a gear. Would have taken it over the majority of that gauntlet match.
MJ from NJ just joined the room. He says, whoa, wait a second. I had no idea this watch-along was happening. Yeah, it was kind of like a last-minute surprise. But welcome, MJ. Heath Slater returned. The Motor City Machine Guns returned, and there could be more surprises. So that whole angle with Heath Slater being kind of kicked out of the building kind of put an idea in my head. I know before you were talking about maybe like an invasion type thing. It has been 10 years since Heath Slater did the whole thing with Nexus. You never know. They could maybe do like a newer version with that. Maybe him, EC3, Ryder, Hawkins kind of invade the end of the show and help whoever win the title. That could be another scenario. Heath Slater knows a thing or two about invading.
He does, yeah. I think it could be a good sort of, if you're not having like a huge name at the end, it could be a good way of
Have a big angle, at
creating
least,
some
yeah.
buzz. I think if you had some kind of 4 or 5 man stable taking the title, taking over.
And they could even use the Aces and Eights name if they wanted to. I mean, it's an established name. Just put new faces under it if they really wanted to, or just something brand new.
I
Who
want
knows?
something new, especially that if some of these guys are just WWE and like haven't really got a history with Impact, I'd go with something new. I mean, and then you have them going for all the titles. You could put one of them in the X Division. You could put one of them in the tag scene, like that kind of thing. Well, obviously you got Motor City Machine Guns, and then I think it could be something good to inject into the company.
Well, how about this? At one time, Heath Slater was not only part of Nexus, he was also part of the Social Outcasts.
He was.
With Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. So why not bring that back and just call themselves the Social Distancers? And just have a whole bunch of guys. Or call them the Essentials.
The Essentials.
You know, kind of like play off of, you know, one of these names that have been used recently. So MJ says they can't do an invasion angle. It would play out exactly like the NWO, where the group beats all the roster, or WCW, and they get killed and feel like jokes all over again.
Well, it depends how you do it. Like, there are ways of doing it right. Like, you learn from mistakes. I don't know. I just think it depends who your name is. If your name is big enough in your main event to stand out on their own and it's a big surprise, I'm cool with it. But if it's just a, I don't know, B, C level guy, I kind of think you'd need it.
Yeah, those big groups, they always have like a big angle, and then after like 5-6 months, if they don't treat them right, they just fizzle out. Brandon, he says, is Heath Slater officially part of Impact? It looks like it, but, you know, who knows? He had his own theme song, so...
Yeah, they're going to play it out for a while, aren't they? I'm quite looking forward to this one. I have really found the North quite entertaining. I think Ethan Page is fantastic. And...
They, that whole story with the Scorpion and the Frog, I don't know if you heard John and Way, they mentioned how Sami Callihan could put the Scorpion Deathlock, and then Ken Shamrock could do the Frog Splash as their finishing move.
Okay.
Call it the Frog and the Scorpion.
Yeah. I like John trying to recap the story. He remembered it, but was like, fuck, what was this anecdote? There's this Scorpion, and then
Scorpion,
a frog.
He's on the back of the frog, and then...
The world's most dangerous tag team. MJ thinks I'm being biased because these are two Toronto boys.
You probably have a We the North t-shirt.
We the North. You've got a We the BDE
Christina
t-shirt.
says, what? Christina says, what the fuck are you drinking now? I don't even know why I bought this. It just kind of stood out, but it's a Smirnoff Peach and Mango smash drink, 8% alcohol. It's really, really sweet. I don't think I'm going to finish this. I'm not a fan, but I just bought it because it stood out.
How is it?
It's a little too sweet. Like, the mango just smacks you in the face.
The mango smacks you in the face?
The mango smacks you in the face, yeah. A little too much mango.
Ken Shamrock looks like someone's teacher. Whose teacher? Yeah, I know. I know what you mean.
Hopefully
you can imagine that coffee
hopefully
breath.
Not Braden. Hopefully not Braden's teacher.
Oh boy. That's a what?
Behind
that's
the BDE.
A World Champ exclusive.
World Champion exclusive.
Yeah.
Too sweet equals the worst hangover. Yeah, that's. I feel like
that's
I'm
very true.
Gonna get drunk off this.
I had the worst hangover I've had in so long last week. Didn't really drink much. Just finished work. Work was kind of shitty. I mentioned it on Behind the BDE. I had maybe 2 shots and then like a couple of beers and some other sort of drink. But because I've been on like the seltzers for pretty much all of quarantine, like the beer and the sugar in the drink I had just completely messed me up.
What are you drinking tonight? I know you left the store with a basket full of drinks today.
I'm on a White Claw right now. I'm switching it up. I've got a bunch of stuff in the fridge. I tried the hard Arizona green tea. That was quite good. I've got some other types of seltzers I want to try. Socialite is the name of the brand. I've got some triple berry and some mango and grapefruit or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, let's hear what you're drinking in the chat room. Benjamin's talking about peanut butter whiskey. Tastes like peanut butter, gets you drunk like whiskey. Interesting.
Oh, damn. I can't... I guess shots of that would be nice. What would you mix that with?
Jelly.
What about that with ginger ale? Could be nice.
What do you think so far of Shamrock's return to wrestling?
I got to admit, I get a kick out of it. Because I never watched TNA or MMA, I was quite a fan of Ken Shamrock back in, 99? 98, 99? Loved playing him in the games, and then he disappeared, and now I'm like, I get to, like 20, 21, 22 years later, I get to watch Ken Shamrock again. Sure, why not?
TMF in the chat room, I'm too young to drink. That's perfectly fine. Drink whatever you can. Benjamin's drinking water.
That's good.
Moneybag suggested peanut butter whiskey and jello shots. Peanut butter jelly time. Okay.
It's peanut butter jelly time.
AEW needs to do Kurt Angle and Henry Cejudo. I heard rumors that Henry Cejudo was in talks with AEW. I think Post Wrestling posted that up. And I think he was one of Mike Tyson's entourage, right? When he had that whole thing with
Tyson,
Jericho.
was he?
I think Cejudo was there, yeah. He's a really short guy that I guess was trying to talk to Nikki Bella at one point, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure Brandon from New Jersey will correct me on that one.
Why? Because he's a massive Nikki Bella fan?
I think he's a massive
I'm
Henry
joking.
Cejudo fan.
You're drinking milk, nice. You're our Kenny Omega. You're a Kurt Angle.
Milk is fine, yeah.
Milk's good for the
Nothing wrong with
bones.
milk.
On social media earlier this week, Alexander.
I think both fellas are pretty much due with their babies anytime soon. They were on the bump the other day, and they were saying how any day now.
Talking about their bump on the bump.
Yep, bump. Stephanie McMahon was on there begging Kathy Kelly to come back. That was pretty funny. She's like, "We need you back."
If I was, what's her name, Mackenzie Mitchell or Sarah Schreiber, I'd be like, really?
Like, well, they were saying how Kathy Kelly is part of Mensa. Like, she's like one of the smartest people they ever had. Like, signed to WWE. I had no idea.
She looks smart. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't surprise me.
MJ says that he thinks Brandon from New Jersey is Henry Cejudo. Okay, so that would make sense.
MJ, you're joining us tomorrow for the watch-along. Can you make sure you look like one of the Sopranos again? Because we've now got DJ Khaled, MJ Soprano.
DJ Khaled, Tony Soprano, and PewDiePie. As long as you play the Sopranos intro when MJ comes in, that'll be perfect. Just have him there with a cigar.
Got yourself a gun. Yeah, so this is the Kathy Kelly chat here, it seems.
Big fans of Kathy
Who doesn't?
Kelly.
She's the queen. Queen Kathy.
You know, it wasn't until you mentioned it on, I forgot which review it was. Maybe it was the Anarchy Rules review about the Beulah and Tommy's twin daughters being in The Sopranos. I remember when that happened. That was like a pretty big deal. How he put them in the movie. They were really young at the time. I think they were like young teenagers.
Babies,
when
right?
it happened. Yeah, they were pretty young. MJ, I may need to have a cigar. Okay.
I think he means for when he's a
Moneybags. Get a soprano. Moneybag says, where do you think Tessa is going to sign? That's a really, really good question.
I think WWE.
Think so?
I can't see anyone else taking her. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be either AEW or WWE at this point.
AEW have kind of made it clear, like their stance on that kind of thing. WWE, like, fuck, they can have their talent held hostage in Saudi Arabia and they get away with it and we'll still watch and they'll still make more money than any other company. You know, like, I think an MLW or an Impact, well, obviously not Impact, but any of the lower levels wouldn't want to risk tarnishing their name like that. And yeah, AEW have made it clear that they don't want anything to do with her.
So Christina in the chat says, I feel like I'm representing the estrogen fan base. Why don't more women watch wrestling? We're going to have a woman join us tomorrow for the Extreme Rules watch-along, right?
We'll have Stephanie Chase from Digital Spy. She's been doing quite a few shows with Grapple. If any of you listen to the Grapple Spotlight, she's done a few shows with them recently. She's also been on our WrestleMania Greatest Moments show on the Patreon. She's great. We hung out with her in New York last year for WrestleMania. Loves her wrestling, has been watching way longer than I have, I think, and loves her New Japan as well. So I think she's going to be a great addition to the watch along tomorrow, Christina. And yeah, get some estrogen in the room. I know a bunch of women wrestling fans. They are hard to find, but you're not alone, Christina. I started watching Christina around like 99, and then I kind of in 99 got VHSs from sort of the year before, and because all the video games were about 2 years behind then, you tended to know what was going on in like 97. But yeah, started watching consistently around like SummerSlam 99, something like that. The Greater Power, whenever that was, that really got me hooked.
The one that Christopher Daniels was supposed to be?
Yeah.
Imagine that would have actually happened. Who would have known? Who would know what Christopher Daniels would be today?
That's
That
weird,
actually was
right?
him. That's a good what if scenario. If Christopher Daniels was the higher power.
The Fallen Angel. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy to think how long Daniels has been around doing it. To think that he was considered in... yeah, that was 99, wasn't it? The Greater Power.
Yeah, because he was at the end of WCW. Him and AJ Styles were like in the last year or so of Nitro. He was on the show on Thunder.
Okay, so June 7th was the reveal. And I remember watching it from a few weeks before then. I remember like Steph getting kidnapped and the teddy bear and all that thing. So we're probably looking at like April, May 99.
Yeah, I mean, wrestling was always in my household. I have older brothers, so like the second I was born, there was wrestling toys and wrestling on TV everywhere. So
Shamrock with some dubious drop kicks. Jake has missed Don Callis on commentary.
Oh, Don Callis is great. Yeah, he was great on New Japan. Yep. So I haven't been rewatching like the New Japan Cup shows with English commentary. Is it Kevin Kelly?
No, it's just Kevin Kelly. It really hurts the matches, in my opinion.
Okay, because the Lions Break matches have been him, Chris Charlton, and I think Gino Gambino.
Yeah, it's been the main team, right?
Okay.
Although Gino Gambino just sounds very tired because it's probably at a horrendous hour in Australia. But yeah, Kevin Kelly on his own didn't work for me. I think with the empty arena, like even if I don't understand what they're saying, that the kind of 3-man booth in the Japanese commentary team really adds so much energy, and Kevin Kelly's just not getting that on his own, which isn't surprising, really.
Jake and Ader wanted to know if you had WCW in the UK.
We did. So Cartoon Network I think it was on Friday. So we used to get, we didn't get Raw and WCW live for a long, long time. So it used to be Friday nights. We would get Raw and Nitro, I believe. And Nitro would be, Cartoon Network would turn into TNT at like 9, 10 p.m. And that's when you'd get...
It's all part of Turner. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And that's when you'd get Nitro. But I never watched it on that. But we did have Thunder would be on like Friday nights at like 8 p.m. on Channel 5, which is one of the free channels. So I'd actually watch Thunder a little bit. But I always just saw it as these old past it WWF guys. Even then, I always thought it looked just like a kind of cheap imitation. Oh, Moneybags. Oh, sorry, who is it who missed the... Yeah, Go Heels. You missed the gauntlet match, but you still got Deonna versus Jordynne Grace.
Yeah, you didn't miss much.
You didn't miss
Probably
anything.
are lucky. TMF says, wasn't Don Callis in ECW? Yes, he was Cyrus the Virus.
All right, is this where we're getting the... Oh, no, it's the Scorpion Deathlock it needs to be, right?
Yes.
Coming, Josh, hold on. Oh, come on. You're better than that, guys.
Okay, they're
They're doing this. Okay.
on the same page.
Oh.
Suddenly they're back on track. Here we go. Cover the pile driver. Sami Callihan with the cover. New tag team championship page turns around.
Come on, ref. Get some control. How many men are in the ring right now?
Sami Callihan hit the go to sleep.
I sound like FTR, but I feel this, especially in Impact, this happens a lot where they're like, alright, we fuck the rules now. Been wrestling for 5 minutes.
If I had to make a top 10 names that disappointed in NXT, I think Sami Callihan will be up there. The whole Solomon Crow thing was so disappointing, and
Yeah.
they started it good with the whole like hacker type thing and big deal, and then
Didn't he
just
pick up
fizzled
an
out.
injury quite early into it?
I think so,
Which
because he was supposed to be part of Sanity, and then he got injured, and I think they either got injured or something, and they used Eric Young instead. But supposedly it was his idea, the whole Sanity
Oh,
stable.
really? I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
just remember them building him up as a mystery for a while, had the big reveal, and had him like go over pretty strong in a couple of matches. Then he disappeared for a while due to injury, I think, and then it never really picked up again.
Yeah, he never had like that standout match. I could never say like the one match, or the one Solomon Crow match. He never really had that standout moment.
Yes, Madman Fulton was unfortunately part of Sanity as well.
Yep. Sawyer Fulton. Yep. So was Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf and everybody else that's kind of doing pretty much nothing now.
You mean Robert Stonebrand's Killian Dane?
Yes. The guy that got the coffee spilled on him.
Shamrock back inside the ring. Ken Shamrock is down. Courtesy of Ethan
With the exception of Motor City Machine Guns versus Rascal, this has been a pretty sloppy pay-per-view so far.
in tag team
Um,
then the North. And that move. The
that
North
that move.
continue.
Great call, Josh. That move.
I don't think Chris Bay and Willie Mack was sloppy. I just think it could have probably went a little bit longer. It wasn't really well defined.
Winners and still Impact World Tag Team Champions.
Okay, the North is grabbing the mic right now, so is this Gallows and Anderson where they come out?
Alexander retained their
All right,
titles.
you're a couple of seconds ahead of me. Oh yeah, I see.
Get the feeling that it
Yeah, they're kind of saying, this is our ring, get out of our ring. This might be the spot.
him out of our ring. Nobody asked the champs for their comments. When we hit one calendar year as the champs.
What does the chat room think of the Impact Tag Team title design? I kind of like it.
I prefer gold to silver, but it's alright. No, I'm not too big on it.
Vision.
Prove the people in the back that me and all the
1 year ago.
I'm gonna pull this off so I don't hear your thing, John.
Oh, yeah.
No, I go heels. I haven't heard I haven't read the Ken Shamrock book yet. I've heard it's like one of the best wrestling books this year.
who is laughing now. We're laughing. You want to know why? No team has better chemistry. No team has more devastating tag team tactics.
You want to know why? Because in this company's history, no team has better chemistry. No team has more devastating tag team tactics. We are the greatest team.
Somebody's got something to say about that. Alex, shut
All right, here we go. Assume this is them. I know you're ahead of me, guys, but oh, so Motor City Machine Guns are coming back out.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay, everyone's recommending the Shamrock book. Gonna do it.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe the chat room can tell me if I'm wrong. But Carl Anderson has never been an Impact, right? Just Gallows. So it would be like a first-time thing for Anderson when he comes to Impact.
I think I did look this up. I think he's done something with them, but I'm not entirely sure.
Because I know they formed in New Japan. Like, I know Carl Anderson was there first, and then Gallows joined him, and then they went to WWE. I don't think they ever went to Impact, unless they maybe worked a match here or there.
Yeah, it's not on his.
He was
wiki.
yeah. Andrew says he was in GFW, which is was pretty much Impact when they kind of rebranded themselves.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking.
Those 6 shows at the baseball arena, right?
The ones that are lost forever.
Yeah, Alan, it's hard to get interesting these days with no crowds, but we try our best, and that's why we form our very own crowd here.
Yes, this is our virtual crowd that we formed. Okay, so we have this match to look forward to.
This is on Tuesday.
Is that what they said?
So, yeah.
Okay. I wonder if they're filming after tonight or on Tuesday. I don't know.
Which might mean they're not around for a long time if they're doing just a taping right now.
Yeah.
But no, that's
Alright.
cool. I mean, these guys desperately need opponents. Oh, it's Gia.
Gia Miller, take a drink. Oh, we're just talking about him.
I didn't expect to see you here. What are you doing here?
TMF says, I just play crowd noises in the background because it feels lonely. Hey, they're doing that in sports. Baseball just started today, and they were putting sports from the video games, and NBA has been doing
Football's
it.
been doing it for a while, the Premier League and the German League.
Guess what? I can let you know.
See, there's a lot of questions.
Rich Swan is here. Once Rich Swan's got the green light. I can let you know. Once Rich Swan is here. Once Rich Swan's got the green light.
Rich Swann is another one that could have been used better in WWE.
Well, they tried with him, didn't they, with the Cruiserweight Championship?
Yeah, he was
like they were
champion.
trying to make that a thing, just didn't connect.
Well, that was around the time when 205 Live, if you were on that show, that was it. Like, you were stuck on that show. You couldn't be anywhere else. So it kind of pigeonholed him in that 205 position.
Jake's asking if, like, the kind of Conrad Thompson style shows he does with Eric Bischoff and Tony Schiavone, would something like that work for TNA with, say, a Dixie or a... I mean, wouldn't Jeff Jarrett probably be your best guy for that? Wouldn't he?
Yeah, I don't think Jeff Jarrett wants to talk about
that's the
TNA
thing.
right now.
I'm just going to grab another drink in case we see Gia Miller again.
All right, let's see some of the comments in the room. The tag match was fine, nothing special. Deonna was a great pickup, I agree. She's another one that was pretty much wasted in NXT. Chris Bay is Kofi without WWE restrictions. WWE kills careers, ask EC3, or a lot of former Impact wrestlers. Joe from H-Town, I'm back. Can I get some results? Sure, Motor City Machine Guns, they beat the Rascals. We had Kaylee Ray win the women's gauntlet match. Chris Bay became the X Division champion. Moose beat Tommy Dreamer. And the match we just saw where the North retained the titles. What if Impact went back to actual arenas, not bars or clubs? I know they were having trouble with that for a while, obviously with the attendance issues, so they kind of had to resort to clubs or bars. But once things are back to normal, if the interest is there, I don't see why not.
Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to this match. I wonder if it's been a deliberate move on Deonna, but she's had one match, which was a very quick squash in Impact so far, but she's done a lot of promos, a lot of like video interviews and that kind of thing. I don't remember her talking at all in WWE, apart from maybe the Mae Young Classic, like her just promo video. So I'm wondering if it's been a choice of her to be like, hey, this is something I haven't got to do before, and I want to do that.
I know in the house shows and like online they were promoting the team with her and Chelsea Green, but I never saw light on TV. They never used that on TV, but that was something that they were trying to push. But
it was more from
for whatever
Twitter
reason,
and Instagram that I saw that. But
yeah.
Unless that live events, yeah, that never really came across on TV. TMF, I don't think they've got the audience to go back to actual arenas. I mean, obviously no one's doing actual arenas at the moment, but unfortunately, yeah. Joe, sorry, no, we haven't done the sunglasses yet. All right, I'll have another day. There we go. They're a bit crooked because I like sat on them a bunch, but there we go.
Jordynne Grace won the Knockouts Championship on February 11th in Mexico City, Mexico by defeating Taya Valkyrie.
How's that? Joe, are you happy now?
The most powerful knockouts we have ever seen here in Impact Wrestling. So just over 5 months.
Oh, they're very crooked.
Champion, Jordynne Grace has a tremendous career in front of her. Do you think Jordynne
Should have got my. I have another drink that's a smeared off the blood orange one. I might get that one next.
Chance just because she's so strong. She's so powerful and she's so dominant.
All right, so who do we have in this match? Is everybody going for Jordynne or going for Deonna?
I'm going for Deonna. And I want it to be a relatively kind of clean win. I want to see a good match, but I don't want to see like anything like dodgy. Andrew doesn't think that AEW care about their women's division, so maybe that's why they weren't too bothered about going after Deonna.
Stepping out of bounds is Deonna Purrazzo. Good veteran move there.
I'm looking forward to this Diamante versus Ivelisse match on Dynamite. I wonder if they either sign both of them or what the deal is with that, but those are two really good talents. They definitely need that.
A lot of bad blood here, Josh. With some of the things that have happened.
Oh, Moneybags, why can't you stand Grace?
To start this off fast, Deonna smartly stepping to the outside.
These two have had words. You saw that in the video package before this match when they were desks on busted open. Actually, Deonna Purrazzo was.
I don't think Deonna was ever really given a chance in NXT. Frank's saying she didn't stand out too much, but I felt like when she first got signed, they kind of made a big deal of her. I remember, like in the Mayan Classic and stuff, they seemed to highlight her a bunch, and then just nothing ever really came of it.
Andrew McDonald, you says Ivelisse is kind of like Tessa. Do you want to elaborate on that? Because I kind of think I know what you mean, but I'm not 100% sure about it. But she has a pretty same reputation as Tessa. Is that what you're hinting at?
Yeah, that's how it seems. We need Taynara.
Frank Gilfillan says Taynara. Yeah, I agree. I would love to see Taynara in Impact. I think she would fit in pretty good.
I agree, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and you can tell she's not only a
problematic talent. Okay, yeah. I heard the same thing, Andrew. I heard that she, wherever Ivelisse goes, she tends to burn bridges with that promotion. So Moneybags about Jordynne Grace says her entire character and personality rubs me the wrong way. Okay.
You don't like the cut of her jib, basically. All right, that's fair.
Early portion of this championship match, and again, Deonna's on the outside. Jordan's tired of waiting for the challenger, and Jordynne goes for the dive. And Jordynne Grace
nice.
Is staying on top of Deonna Purrazzo.
You don't want to let Jordynne Grace.
I like when people kind of follow up with a suicide dive, because realistically, that's what you should do, yeah? You take them out and then just pound on them. I don't know if this is legit Braden or not in the room. I know sometimes we have people just make up names to come in.
I don't know. I think it might be him. I don't see why not. What is Braden doing? Is Braden at work?
No, I don't. What day is it? Saturday. You at work?
Braden says it's me. Say something that only Davie
yeah.
know.
Purrazzo fighting away. Oh, kicks the shoulder. And there, stomp to the shoulder. Is all of the offense, and Deonna called himself the best technical wrestler in the world today, is all of the offense of Deonna Purrazzo around the armbar?
Well, that's what you call smart technical wrestling, Josh. Pick a body part.
It's always going to be the arm. It's always going to be the shoulder. If you're Deonna Purrazzo. Now, let me ask you this.
TMF is waiting for Hernandez to randomly pop up somewhere. Last time we saw him and Rhino were fighting it out over their arm wrestling money. Seems like they had a treaty.
What did you think of that?
This isn't going to work out. This strategy isn't
It didn't need all that cinematic stuff. I mean, you can't do cinematic for every feud.
You've had champions in the past like Nick Bockwinkel.
All right, Braden, is this true that he was with a friend? You were with a friend of mine with tattoos that Davey hates.
Oh, you're not coming back tonight.
Bill Belichick, and he's got a great game plan. It doesn't really stray from that.
So I guess it is Braden.
Again, really?
Offense to the strategy of a Bill Belichick?
I'm not happy, Braden.
I think Deonna Purrazzo does her homework, maybe more than any knockout in the division, and it pays off.
Referee, Tom Deonna Purrazzo's got to back it up as Jordynne Grace is in the ropes technically.
Yeah, I felt that if you're doing a cinematic match, you need to do more than just punch each other and hit each other with stuff, right? Like, that was just
they
a
were fighting-
classic brawl that...
It was a comedy
With music
cinematic.
on
They're
it,
fighting over
which, yeah, it
arm
wasn't
wrestling.
needed.
Yeah.
Jordan's a tremendous powerlifter as well.
Yeah, I'm going to change the
I
code
think
to the
Impact
door.
has been. I think Impact has been doing the cinematic stuff a little bit too much. Like this past episode, you had
Two of
the
them.
thing with the gym with Ace Austin and Trey, and then you had the thing with Rhino. Like it was a little bit too much, and it's all like the same formula. You just put on the dramatic music. You had all these camera shots, and
Yeah,
That's
part
it.
of me was wondering with that Trey and... Ace Austin
Ace
thing,
Austin?
whether it was added, like, later, whether it wasn't originally part of the plan, but because they lost out on some of the, like, Michael Elgin and Tessa stuff, whether they just kind of, like, all right,
Fill
let's
time,
just
yeah.
go into a gym and film this.
that's possible. Yeah.
Grace overpowers, looking for the Grace driver. The way she became Knockouts champion. Deonna Purrazzo looking to counter. Jordynne Grace tries to roll through.
Cross arm breaker.
Cross arm breaker applied here by Deonna Purrazzo. Jordynne Grace has to lock her hands. Look at Deonna trying to bring. Oh, a kick right to the face. Right to the
Nasty
face.
kick
Jeez.
by Jordynne Grace.
And Deonna's still trying to lock in the cross arm breaker. Look at the white knuckles of Jordynne Grace trying to escape.
Jordan is very powerful in the arms. I don't think Deonna's going to be able to break that grip.
Yeah, Andrew, that's what I'm thinking.
Deonna Purrazzo back over the ropes. She's successful.
All right, so if you're just tuning in right now, we've got Deonna Purrazzo versus Jordynne Grace. Deonna's really trying to get that cross arm breaker locked in, but just got kicked in the mush.
More of her power moves than what we've seen so far. This has been a Deonna
Braden was hanging out in the fight pit.
Yeah, with this awful girl, I think is what he's trying to say.
Shame on you, Braden. Shame on you.
I'm not happy. TMF does not like Josh Matthews as a commentator. Yeah, I'm not the highest on Josh Matthews, to be honest.
He's been an Impact for so long that he just kind of like, I don't know, defaults the voice.
It's
of
like
Impact,
Michael
so I don't
Cole,
really
right?
like even-
You're used to
Yeah.
it. It's whatever. Big Show told Jordynne Grace to wear knee pads, according to Andrew. Yeah, Braden, get out of the YouTube room. Go hang out with that awful woman. Go on.
For the record, Braden loves Josh Matthews.
Yeah, well, why don't
Okay,
you do a
thank
show
you,
with
Braden.
him, Braden?
To the small of the back. Championship retained and no, Jordynne Grace not able to do it just yet.
If they talk about the tattooed friend on the next Behind the BDE, I am upping my Patreon tier. Okay.
All right, we've been wondering what to talk about for the next show. So
It looks that way. It's kind of hanging there.
Don't want to leave it hanging out there
The room is bumping right now. We got almost 40 people
Oh,
in
wow.
here, a lot of chatter. So I'm happy to see that this Impacgt watch along is
Yeah,
was worth it.
I was really not sure how many people we'd get for this. We didn't promote it. We weren't planning to do one. We just figured, hell, why not? We're all watching it. Oh, damn. Tasmission?
Submission from Jordynne Grace. We've seen this from Grace.
All right, now you're just buttering me up, Braden.
Purrazzo,
Disinfect the house tomorrow. If that awful woman's been here.
this is a great hold here by Jordynne. She can keep her there all night.
Joe, I don't really want to comment on that. I know you've asked it a few times. I don't really think it's got much to do with her wrestling. She seems to be keeping up with everything, so...
I think she looks great, Joe. I think she looks wonderful.
Shoulders down here. Almost got her.
That was a great counter roll through by Deonna Purrazzo.
Smart offense by Deonna
Yeah.
Purrazzo. Offense,
This
defense from offense.
has been good.
This clothesline in the corner by Jordynne Grace.
Yeah, Jordynne Grace right now is dictating pace.
Grace,
Gonna pull an arrow around that. She only had a 5.
It's Braden's mistake, Christina. I wouldn't call her either of the other things.
small of the back from Jordynne Grace and Deonna Purrazzo. Oh, a soft spot. Challenger here.
Trying to slap some feeling back into that left arm. This Jordynne Grace. It does. It gets the blood flow to that area.
How's everybody been enjoying this show? I don't know how many people actually pay for this show or if they're watching, but has this been worth it? Has the watch along been worth it? Like, how are you guys enjoying this night so far?
It's rare to hear Jordynne register pain in the way that she just did. That arm is injured, Josh, in my opinion.
Improby's liking the match so far.
Yeah, I agree. It's a really,
This has
really,
probably been my
pretty good match.
favorite. I really enjoyed the opener. This has probably been my favorite singles match. Oh, jeez. That Grace driver, she just dumps him on their neck.
I don't know that Jordynne got all of that with that injured left arm.
Great point.
Andrew McDonald with the up yours throwback, it looks like.
Left arm and shoulder of Jordynne.
Oh, is it?
This match, Josh. Paid off for her there.
Andrew, that story stuck with me. I am so intrigued by it. Hey, Peter. Thank you for your... I didn't get back to messaging you, but I remember now your pick for Up Yours, so thank you for getting back to me. I've got it now in the rotation. I'm thinking it would be a great pick for October, seeing that it'll be spooky season.
And now Jordynne Grace just spine buster. Grace. Now down the difference.
Can you guys believe that Davie Portman has never watched The Karate Kid? How do you guys feel about that? He's finally going to watch it next month.
Do that because,
One of my favorite movies of all time.
and then Jordynne Grace, did she get all of that last night?
No, I don't think she did.
Referee starting to count here, and again, if he gets to 10, Jordynne Grace retains her chance.
Jeremy thinks the show's
A lot of
been
people are enjoying the watch
pretty
along.
poor,
Yeah?
other than the opener, but the watch along's been fun. It has disappointed me, this show so far. They really need to... This match has been good.
The action continues.
The main event really needs to deliver on many levels.
Benjamin he's mad at me. He says that every movie I like is overrated because I said that his favorite movie, The Sandlot, is overrated. I don't know. The Sandlot was a good movie, but to me, I think it's a little overrated. That's why he thinks every movie I like is
I'm with
overrated.
you. Oh, yeah, I know people like that.
Yeah, that's... I don't know.
I'd say she seems like she did against her in her match against Alicia the other week. I don't think she looks much different.
Jordynne Grace, she wants her turn. What a physical battle for the Knockouts Championship.
Yeah, Mac v Bay was good. This has been good. The opener was good. I put like the North versus Shamrock and Callihan wasn't bad. Moose versus Dreamer wasn't bad. Oh damn, great move, great looking suplex.
Cover and a kick out down. She calls that the pendulum. That's
Go Heel says Teen Wolf is trash. Isn't that Braden's favorite movie? Teen Wolf?
Yeah, I think so.
Knockouts champion
And
here on
Ninja Turtles.
Yet.
That's another one you guys have. Have you seen the Ninja Turtles
No.
movies, Davey? Please tell me you've seen Ninja Turtles
No.
at least.
I've
No,
seen
none of
bits
them? Oh. Oh my god, okay.
I was never really into the Ninja
think my
Turtles as a
upview-
kid. I had the Game Boy game, and I had a Leonardo plush toy.
That's the worst. That's the worst game. The Game Boy
Game
one
Boy
was the
one?
worst one. Yeah. You couldn't even see which character you were because they were
Yeah.
all black and white.
Well, you knew by their like weapons.
Oh, their weapon, yeah. See, this is the type of match that would have benefited with a crowd. Even if you had a couple
I think so.
like wrestlers out there, it would have made this match so much better. Just a little bit of like just noise.
Yeah, I think a crowd would really help this. I think they'd really get into it. Oh! With the Swagger Bomb, aka the Vader Bomb.
She just called the fall from grace.
The Fall from Grace. Frank, you had the Ninja Turtles game as well? Apart from Tetris? I liked the Kirby games. Kirby's Pinball, Kirby's Dreamland. Obviously Super Mario was great on the Game Boy. I had the first Game Boy, the classic like grey. It was like a green and black screen, not even black and white. It was like this weird green.
Here you go, Davey.
Kirby!
Here you go, Kirby. The perks of having a 6-year-old kid. I have all these Nintendo toys here that he's learning from. They're coming out with a Lego set that is pretty much the original NES Nintendo system, but made out of Legos with a TV. It looks so
crazy.
cool. I need to get that.
I wonder if Way will be interested in that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I messaged him right away about it. He was all for it.
Go on, Deonna, get it in. Oh, there we are. Why are you going? Oh, going double armbar. It's like Rings of Saturn. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And new Knockouts Champion, the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo.
Lucas says Way needs to get that. I agree. How about you guys tweet Way that you would like to see a live watch along of him building a Lego set while just chatting, talking. That'd be pretty cool.
I haven't played with Lego for like 20 years, maybe.
You need to have a
But
kid.
I love the
A lot
idea of
people
it. I
stopped
used to
doing
love.
that.
I had this pirate set. It was so cool. Had this trap door,
Oh,
like where you
the classic pirate one, yeah.
where
that
you'd
one's
like
good.
drop people down into the dungeon. It was awesome. That was great.
They've gotten so advanced now. Like having a kid just gives me an excuse to play with all these toys again. It's like I missed out on so much.
You just buy your kid toys you want, and knowing he's
Oh, yeah, for sure.
what, 6,
For sure.
that he'd love it. Like
Oh,
that
yeah.
Mario Kart toy.
Oh yeah, I'm playing with him more than he is.
What were our thoughts on that match? Everyone seemed pretty into it in the room. I think that was my match of the night so far.
I liked it. I think this is pretty much the match of the night as we have the ring crew cleaning the ring in the background, which
Yeah.
is good to see. As Josh Matthew plugs the DVD for this show that's not even over
Yeah.
yet. That was definitely the match of the
Yeah.
night.
Oh, Christina. Okay, so Alex buys toys he knows the kid would like. I can't wait to get toys again.
Bound for Glory. Okay, October 24th. And I'm a little ahead, but they just announced it. Okay, so that's the next
All
pay-per-view.
right, so next Impact
24th.
Watch Along.
Right before Halloween, so you guys can all wear your costumes in the watch
Yeah.
along.
Oh, I love it.
Halloween watch along,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's do it.
I might quickly grab one more can.
Go ahead. Is this the main event? Is this the last match? I haven't been paying attention to the match lineup, but this looks like it's the main event, huh?
World of Professional Wrestling, the word destiny is used a lot. Now, I was the Impact Champion before. That feels like ages ago. Since then,
Joe from H-Town, where are you from? I am from New York.
I'm from
New York.
here.
Born and raised.
I've had friends come and go, relations with my wife. It almost came to an end. things have changed in my life. More things change.
Final bets for surprise fourth man. I'm going with EC3. I'm sticking with Kenta. I don't know why. Just stuck in my head that Kenta is the fourth man. I'm probably wrong, but
At age 23, Ace Austin has high hopes of becoming
a lot of Ace Austin fans in the room.
in the history of Impact Wrestling.
Do you think there's a chance of the return of Aces and Eights tonight since D'Lo Brown teased it? Yeah, Brian, they've been teasing a lot of stuff recently with Eric Young and Aces and Eights and EC3, so that could be one of the surprises. The mystery man is Virgil. Okay, Ben. Ready to Rumble is the greatest. Jake Nader says, John, how long were you a wrestling fan? Ever since I can remember. I mean, I was born the same year as the first WrestleMania, and my brothers were big wrestling fans, so the second I was born, wrestling was on the TV, and there was wrestling toys everywhere. The first show I went to was WrestleMania 10 in MSG, so it's been a long time.
All right. Who've we got? I just want, like, one-word answers. Who is the mystery guy?
Yeah, a lot of people in the room are saying EC3, Eric Young. Just Incredible says John Cena or Matt Cardona. All right.
If it's John Cena.
If it's John Cena, then the internet will probably break. We have Virgil, James Storm, Eric Young, another Eric Young, another EC3. And probably says, did you go to the Impacgt New York shows? I have been to a couple in the Melrose Ballroom in Queens, where MLW does shows. I've been to their shows. Other than that, I haven't been to too many Impact shows.
Tell you what, this is good.
Which one is that? Is that like
Socialite
what is that?
Triple Berry.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. 0 sugar,
Okada,
80
Rusev,
calories.
Juan Cena, Jeff Jarrett, JTG, Bully Ray, No Way Jose. These Teddy Hart, Danhausen. We have a lot of interesting choices.
Jake with quite the pick as well.
Nice pick. A lot of EC3s.
Yeah, I feel he makes most sense.
I think Wei Ting will be the mystery entrant. That'd be a pretty good choice.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are moments away from our main event. We can't wait to find out who this fourth mystery.
You know who I am. Yes, that is a Bully Ray reference.
As the new world champion.
Yeah, I don't think Rusev is medically cleared to be the surprise, unfortunately.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Slammiversary main event. An elimination match for the
Mr. Anderson, that's another guy that they teased. Okay.
Mr. And
Moneybags, are you talking about David Arquette? The guy from Ready to Rumble? That would be David Arquette. I hope he's not the fourth man.
I mean, he's still wrestling.
Yeah.
I think he's wrestling more than he's been making movies, so...
He's definitely wrestling more than some of the picks I've seen, like Bully Ray or...
He has the chance to become the youngest world champion in Impact Wrestling history, and with Madman Fulton watching his back, he may do just that here tonight.
You do get a sense of inevitability when you look at a 23-year-old who's got more athletic abilities than anyone else, and he's got a monster in Madman Fulton standing with him.
Fulton is so weird. What a weird guy.
I was never a fan of him.
Although it became a thing. I think it was 2K18. He was still in the game, which was weird because he was in it, but like Primo and Epico weren't in it, who've been in WWE for ages at the time. But Fulton was in it, and he was one of the characters that we just couldn't beat. We do elimination chamber matches and just throw Madman Fulton in there, and he'd somehow just beat us. All right, we're almost there. Eddie Edwards coming out.
Yeah, Davey, don't look at the chat room because I feel like people are ahead of you. I'm gonna mute my TV when the fourth person comes out. Wait like about a minute or so. I don't want to ruin the big surprise.
Do you know now? Okay.
No, I don't. It's still Eddie Edwards in the ring.
All right.
It's 10:23, so I'm guessing the show will be over by about 11 o'clock.
They said 3 hours.
So pretty.
So yeah, I think 11. I think this would be a really good match as well. I think this will be a lot of fun.
Had his issues with Ace Austin and Madman Fulton, and it's now time to find out the.
I won't say anything. I'll just give a facial reaction to the pick.
Oh, we saw Rich Swann earlier tonight.
No, come on.
Oh no, this has got to be a swerve, right?
It's got to be a swerve.
He's not on crutches now. He threw him away. And the former X Division champion is ready to go. Rich.
What the fuck? Are you really?
This can't be real.
All right, who's gonna take him out?
There's got to be an invasion angle at the end. I mean, I like Rich Swann. Don't get me wrong, but the way that they build it up,
That is.
why would it be somebody? Why would it be somebody under the roster?
He's going to be looking for the world title. He's ready to go. Well, that's a great
Frank says the surprise isn't actually in the match. That's a good point. It could be after the match. Remember, the mystery was never supposed to be in the match.
on an Impact Plus special.
No.
Rich Swann
I-
with an injury, but he's back here tonight, folks. Look at, he's looking good. The moves are
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Ace Austin.
All right, yeah. Ace Austin, let's
Gotta
do
be my
it.
fourth man.
Rich Swann, the fourth entrant in this world.
I'm glad to see he's perfectly healed. That's great.
There you see the championship. That's what it's
But why would they show him earlier in the show?
for these four men.
Like, why even show him?
All right, here we go.
Okay, never mind. I'll stay quiet now.
Yeah, Andrew. Yeah, completely. Andrew said this is like Rey Mysterio in the 2014 Royal Rumble. Okay, what's this?
Yeah.
Okay. Got a skull with lightning bolts. Is it show?
Whoa! Is that
It's not Cold Skull.
Eric Young?
Okay.
It's Eric Young! Now that's a surprise!
Are we gonna have loads of people come out here?
Maniac is back!
Yeah, is it a 5-man match now? What's going on?
Former world champion! Former X Division champion!
You know, before the whole Michael Elgin thing happened, I had a prediction that maybe Team Canada was going to reform with the North and Eric Young and Elgin and a couple other guys.
Well,
That could still
because
happen.
Elgin was on the phone to like a Canadian, right?
Right. Hey, you have the Sawyer Fulton and Eric Young connection right here with Sandy.
True.
Don't forget that. Yeah.
Oh, Eric's getting on the mic.
I don't think Eric Young is a big surprise. I'm sorry, I like Eric Young, but there's got to be more.
At a world-class surprise. And I got news for you boys. This is now a 5-way. I won my world title at Slammiversary, and I'm gonna do it again tonight.
I mean, it was originally a 5-way match.
It
so-
was. Is music gonna hit again?
Remember?
Eric Young announcing
Are we gonna have a 6-way? That is a terrible tattoo on his back.
But Eric Young is back.
Who, Eric Young?
Yeah. All right. Well, I gotta say,
We got 2 surprises.
I think that's a big letdown.
All right, guys. Now that we have all 5 entrants, who is your pick to win? I think I'm gonna have to go with Ace,
It's gotta
Ace
be
Austin.
Ace Austin.
Trey wants to get his hands on Ace Austin in a bad way. Inside the ring.
All right, we have a lot of Eric Young fans in the chat room, so a lot of happy
Yeah,
people.
I mean,
looks like.
As I said, I'm not a big. I wasn't someone who watched TNA, so Eric Young for me, I know from kind of Sanity.
Yeah, he had the whole Team Canada thing with Petey Williams and a couple other Canadians. That was pretty big. He was the whole Super Eric thing, which was like a comedy gimmick, and then he became Impact World Champion shortly after that. Dark Lotus thinks there still might be 6 people. Yeah.
Has not lost a step. Ace Austin wants to get everything. Rich sends him for a ride. Trey back inside the ring. Side steps Rich Swann and Swann. Rana, Trey on his feet.
Alan Spencer thinks that EC3 is going to AEW now. I mean, you have this Cody Open Challenge every week.
True.
So
Quite a few people still like calling her like an aces and eights reunion or something at the end to take out the winner.
I think they need some sort of.
I think they need a closing angle, right?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing wrong with any kind of performer in this match, but.
And plus, Gallows and Anderson, they haven't showed up yet. They said they're going to show up tonight.
Did they?
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they said they're going to show up tonight.
I mean, to me, everyone knows their signs, so they can always just bring them out on TV. Like, I don't think.
Well, I think that might be the big swerve at the end of the match. Whoever the champion is in the ring. You have Gallows and Anderson coming from the entranceway, and then the real surprise comes from behind, and that forms a whole, new stable that they have.
Zach, Miro is out right now with COVID, so he won't be showing up. I think we'll find out soon, I think, who he's going to go with.
I'd rather see Rusev in Impact. I think he would be kind of lost in the shuffle in AEW, the same way that Lance Archer kind of like hot-shotted, had the title shot, then kind of disappeared for a while. I think Rusev would have the same problem in AEW, where in Impact he could definitely be like a top heel.
I think he'd be better in Impact, but I like Rusev. I'd love to see him have a shot at like the top of a card. Andrew thinks Trey seems out of place. How have you found Trey over the last few weeks with this story? Kind of with his like promos, his acting.
I think he still has that. He's too connected to the Rascals. Like, I mean, nothing wrong with the Rascals, but for him to be in this main event match, he should have kind of like distanced himself a little bit more.
Yeah.
Be a little bit more of himself, opposed to just being like an offshoot of the group. He has potential, obviously, but he just feels like he's a stable member that happens to be in the match right now.
I know what you mean. I think he has definitely upped his stock. But yeah, it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick you can't really see as a main eventer. They need to kind of get away from the treehouse and that kind of stuff to be taken seriously. People are saying Miro for New Japan. I'd love to see him in a G1, but I don't know. Like, he might not wrestle for a while after. We don't know how bad, like, COVID's affected him. Like, it can really affect people pretty badly. So, he might not be wrestling anytime soon.
Brandon from New Jersey with the most random question of the night. Are the PS4 games going to be reverse compatible on PS5? That's what I heard. I don't know for sure. They're saying that the games that are coming out now for PS4, they're going to be free for PS5. Same thing with PS3 and PS4, where if you buy the PS4 version, you would just get the PS5 version for free.
That's good.
So,
all right.
Yeah, that's at least something.
I've got so many games on my PlayStation now, just not enough time. I bought an external hard drive recently, so it's just filled to the brim.
Yeah, I have Last of Us 2 on the back burner because I know it's a great game. I just don't feel like playing it right now, but I'm going to get to it. But I'm playing the new Samurai game, Ghost of Tsushima, right now. It's really, really good. Andrew McDonald's a Nintendo Switch guy. Nothing wrong with Nintendo Switch.
I almost bought one the other day. If it was beginning of quarantine, I'd have totally bought it. But they've only just come back in stock, and now I can't really afford to be buying one. So maybe during like the Thanksgiving, Boxing Day sales, like around then. How did Eric Young get busted open?
I don't know.
Right by the eye.
Pretty beat up. Dark Lotus still has a PS2. That's, to me, still the best system of all time. The PS2 has the best game library, to me.
I've had every PlayStation so far. I normally get them about 2 years after they come out, because I'm pretty behind on my games, so I wait for them to drop a little in price.
Yeah, it's kind of scary they haven't announced the price for the PS5 yet. I'm kind of scared to hear the price.
It's going to be insane. I really love Nintendo as well. Had an N64, had a Wii, had a GameCube. Really want to Switch. Okay, these two are going at it now. This is probably the main feud in this match. Oof.
Right, I mean, Ace Austin was trying to get with Trey's mom, right? Alan's
an Xbox man. Yeah, I've never owned an Xbox. probably played an Xbox like twice.
Look at Trey. Bam. Shot to midsection.
John, have you played Warzone yet? A lot of people have been telling me about it.
There. Trey kicked the bottom of the
Is that the
Call of Duty free like
Warzone game? No,
battle royale.
no, I haven't really. It's kind of hard for me to play like online games. I can't really commit myself to play online without pausing it and whatnot. So I haven't been able to get it, but I heard good things
I
about
honestly
that.
don't understand them. I tried to play Fortnite and just didn't understand what I was doing. I need someone to show me what to do.
Yeah, they're kind of it takes a learning curve to get in those games. But hey, if you guys are interested, the Facebook upNXT page, get on there, start a group chat. We can all get on one day and kind of play together. I see a lot of PS4 guys in here, but I have Xbox. I have
UpNXT Battle Royale?
We can do that. We can do an UpNXT Battle Royale.
That could be fun.
If you guys are down for it, we can do it.
It would be cool if you could do, like on 2K, a Royal Rumble with like 30 random people online.
Just online people, yeah. I wish they would be able to do that.
Oh! What's that, like a suicide Canadian destroyer? Like, what happened there?
Pretty much, yeah. A suicide destroyer. That's so hard to pull off. Like, one false, like, mistake and you could just totally fuck it up.
That was good.
Eddie Edwards, Eric Young, and Ace Austin inside the ring.
Andrew, I've got to be honest, I'm kind of with you there. Fucking love GoldenEye. I've never got into any other first-person shooters. I prefer story games personally, so I love like the Naughty Dog, like Uncharted, Last of Us. I like Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider games. I really enjoy, and I enjoy the wrestling games. Like I wish that.
What do you guys in the chat room? What do you guys think of the new wrestling game, the Battlegrounds game with the alligators and a whole bunch of craziness going on?
It's like arcade style, right? I'm not massively into those arcade games, but I don't know, I might give it a go. Yeah, Frank, I can't wait to play Last of Us Part 2. It will probably be a thing in the winter I'll do.
Yeah, that feels like more. That's probably one of the reasons why I can't get into it. Like, Last of Us feels like a winter game for me. I don't know why. Like, something about just staying inside while it's cold outside and playing games. That's probably why I couldn't get into it. Moneybags. I can't recommend that game high enough. Like, that game is amazing. If you like Horizon Zero Dawn or Assassin's Creed, it has that type of style to it, like Red Dead Redemption, but with samurais. It's so addicting. I was playing it all day today.
Oh! Jeez! Oh, it's elimination?
Is it?
Yeah.
Did they say that?
Well, now they are. Were we just not listening, or has this always been an elimination match? Jeez, Eric Young is.
No, they didn't. They didn't say that.
Well, yeah, Trey's gone now. They just said Trey's been eliminated.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we just weren't listening.
Brandon,
we were busy talking about
Brandon,
video
yes.
games.
Yeah, no, Brandon said you can play the old games on the Switch. Yeah, I actually just downloaded this game for the Super Nintendo called, I forgot what it's a Japanese game, but it's like based on the old Japan Pro Wrestling. And it has like everybody. It has Kawada, it has Stan Hansen, Bruiser Brody. It's really fun. It's been announced as of last week as an elimination match. Okay. Oh. I must have missed that part.
I completely missed that. Thank you for
so
keeping us on track.
So just Trey is eliminated, right? Okay.
Who I thought was the standout of this match up until then. This has been good. This has been entertaining. Just like his blood's getting on everyone.
Video game watch along, says Improbi. I'd be down for that.
Punch firing away. Oh, back fist. This is the heart desire of Rich Swann, ladies and gentlemen. Rich Swann goes body scissors.
Frank in the chat room says, get Brayden to play a horror video game.
I have. What's the?
If I recommend one, I would say
Yeah, I've got it.
It's like the game that's yeah, that would be perfect for him. And for you too, I think you would like it. It's like a slasher film but done in video game format, but it's like those type of games
Yeah.
you like.
I've got it. I just haven't played it yet.
That game
Yeah,
would
we
be
should
really
one
good.
night just
And
do a
there's so many
watch
different
along.
like
We'll
endings and possibilities.
maybe try and get a Twitch going and.
Yeah, one of you guys can play, the other one can comment, and you guys can just kind of take turns. That'd be pretty fun.
It could be part of spooky season in October. Yeah.
There we go.
Eric Young was always the ones where like it would be like the greatest Royal Rumble when he or like one of those huge battle royals and he'd be in there and I'd go, who's that guy? Because I didn't recognize him after his new tattoos and the shaved head.
Yeah, because after he left Sanity, he like was trying to like change his gimmick a little bit, but he really didn't. It just kind of like was a default character. Like he couldn't really get a new look going.
He really does look like just a bland creator wrestler.
Yeah, when you go to create a wrestler and you just don't want to pick anything, you just there you go. That's Eric Young.
It's
add a couple shitty tattoos.
The Sanity look worked for him, I thought.
Well, you have him, you have Fulton, you have Sami Callihan here, so maybe they could reform that.
Frank saying Blair Witch was a good one to watch. Do you mean the Blair Witch game? I think I had that on the PC way back when.
Yeah, there's a game. I haven't tried it yet, but I heard pretty good things about that game. There's a lot of like horror games like Slender Man and so Friday the 13th had a game. So Dead by Daylight. There's a lot of good like horror themed games.
Who's Queen 7 and why is she trying to recruit to her page?
I don't know. Thank you, Queen 7, for joining us.
Yeah, I had that. I honestly can't remember it. We've got a Tower of Doom spot being set up. I think you're ahead of me, John.
Yeah.
It's going to be a... Okay, what's going on here? Jewel. Okay, that's a new take on the Tower of Doom.
Yeah? Tower of Doom.
Powerbomb both off the...
Yeah, why not? There's only so many spots you can do with 4 guys. That's one. Cam girl.
What about Brayden's friend?
Is Queen 7 Brayden's friend?
I don't know. But I don't trust it. Brayden's being awfully quiet.
Benjamin says don't click on the link. Okay, so Ben, text me on the side what happened. Did you click on it?
Yeah, Swann gets hit with a pile driver.
I'm scared to know what's on that.
Great effort by Rich Swann tonight, by the way, to last this long.
Andrew McDonald's, why can't I meet people like Brayden's friend?
You have. They destroyed your car, I think, Andrew.
Eric Young is our reward here tonight.
Hey, quite a lot in the room right now. For this...
Yeah, 46 people, jeez.
Impacgt World Championship match.
Slammiversary must be trending and people clicking on the link and finding our watch-along.
And Eric Young has been eliminated. So we're down to Rich Swann,
3,
Ace Austin, and Eddie Edwards.
Yep.
Didn't Ace Austin and Eddie Edwards have a match on TV a few weeks ago?
Pretty sure
they had
did,
a really good match at the end of the show, right?
I think so.
Right? Oh. I was a bit disappointed with the reveal of Eric Young, but like he's been pretty great in this match.
There's gotta be
think
something
so.
else. Like I can't. This show can't end like this. So Benjamin in the chat says Eric Young versus Rich Swann, the first feud back for EY.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be okay with that.
Yeah, Ace and Eddie have been feuding. I'm pretty sure I think they had a really good match like a month, 6 weeks ago.
Eric Young. It's sad to say. I mean, this was a great story for Rich Swann, a great surprise, and this might be the shortest.
Does Eric Young and Rich Swann have some beef from NXT or 205 Live that I don't remember?
Not that I can remember.
Swann is literally crying in pain right now.
Right, someone pin him. Ace. Fulton throwing Ace.
Fulton's gone, right? They kicked him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When has that stopped anyone? Come on.
That's true. Frank says Eddie turns heel. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to win the title, right?
Okay, just to play the ankle up, get rid of this guy.
This is a being able to stand up and play with your kids issue for Rich Swann. Ace Austin oh, come on. Hey, Rich got him. Rich has it.
Brandon from New Jersey says Cena appears at Slammiversary. Brandon, if Cena appears at Slammiversary, I will shave my beard live on the WatchAlong. How about that?
Can you? Yeah, I can't see that happening.
Standing right now. On one leg is how he's standing. And he's bringing the fight to Ace Austin. Ace Austin, who went through a terrible moment ago with Eddie Edwards, kicked out the leg of Rich. And Ace looking for his signature move, the fold. And Rich Swann will be sadly.
All right, and Eddie Edwards is still through the table.
Ace Austin has to win, right? Unless there's some crazy finish.
Eric Young lost his mind.
Someone else comes out and goes, "This is now a triple threat match." I don't know. Yeah,
I know they've been joking in the chat room like Aces, Austins, and Ace,
Yeah.
or Aces and Austin.
yeah, I think
This is brutal. You can't blame Ace Austin for any of this. He's got to try to win.
Ace Austin's definitely the guy I'd go with. But then Eddie Edwards has kind of had this kept falling short thing going on for a while, so maybe that's what they want to do. I think his momentum's just really died after the Tessa Elgin thing, which isn't his fault, but there's so much more to do with Austin as your champion with with his heavy. He can have quite a long run, build up a babyface to take it off him.
I hate to shift the focus away from
Whoever wins the match is going to be overshadowed by whatever angle they have. That's kind of obvious right now, I think.
The final two. And the history of these two goes back nearly 1 year. Ace Austin, the master.
Where does Ace
I was
keep
just thinking, like,
taking these cards out of?
what a weirdo. You're not Gambit. Are you able to throw cards? It's so satisfying when you can send them flying.
Yeah, I mean, he's not like
Ugh.
beating his enemies with the cards. Andrew McDonald says, what I hate about Edwards is that he's a Tommy Dreamer knockoff. I think that's pretty much the gimmick, because when he was turning into this, he had like Tommy Dreamer there to kind of like guide him through it. So the gimmick is he kind of like is like the spiritual successor to Tommy Dreamer.
Does he have a TNA logo on his shorts?
Well, I noticed that
He's got BLM.
Willie Mack had like a TNA logo also, but it was like kind of like distorted in a way.
Oh, no, his was chocolate bars, wasn't it?
He had like on his jacket or somewhere he had like a
I
TNA
see
logo,
it.
but it was like different. And it looks almost the same as
Okay.
Eddie's. It doesn't say TNA. It looks like it says like ZNA, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, weird.
Oh, yeah. I told you.
So Fredo says that I doubt Bully Ray will appear because he'll be on the WWE Watch-Along tomorrow for Extreme Rules. Okay.
Maybe.
That's when Eddie's at his best, Josh.
Brandon from New Jersey, the USC has just ended. Did anything good happen in USC? Anything memorable? Any matches to watch? It's one of their Fight Island.
Yeah, I lost all but one of my my bet, so didn't do well.
Oh, one of Ace Austin's earrings just came out of his ear. And the ref just picked it up.
Joe says, what if Tessa comes out? I can't see that happening, to be honest.
Yeah, that would be kind of
Brandon, how was the
a bad
Ultimate
look.
Fighting Championship tonight? Was it Ultimate?
Was there any fighting?
Right, this is Pineapple and Mango. Like a pina colada.
Use the momentum of Ace Austin going for the full into a belly-to-belly in the corner, landing Ace on his neck.
How smart of Eddie Edwards. He knew that Ace was in that opposite corner, and the phone was coming. There's the skills of Ace Austin. Ace Austin springboard off the second.
Oh!
Boston Knee Party! Boston Knee Party! Boston Knee Party! There's the cover, and a kick out by Ace Austin. Wow.
What do you think of Eddie's personalized sneakers? I kind of want a pair, but like personalized for me.
Do you want to personalize
Some
like
yellow
up
and
next,
black up
like
next
black and yellow pair? Yeah.
sneakers would be kind of cool.
Yeah, why not?
The fold. Oh! Eddie kicked out of Ace Austin's finisher, the fold. Brandon thinks Miro's been working people with... I think with Lana's... Isn't it Lana's dad dying from COVID? Or yeah,
I would hope
see that
he would be
really
working
being
fans.
the thing
That would be
her
a
husband would do.
pretty bad
Oh,
look.
Boston Knee Party again.
What's he doing? What's Eddie doing? Eddie Edwards, the die hard flotion, the die hard flotion has Eddie Edwards.
Oh,
Impact Wrestling World
Sorry, Benjamin. I know you're upset right now.
okay.
Eddie
It's
Edwards,
Eddie Edwards.
second reign as Impact Champion.
And we've got like 9 minutes left of the show.
Something
so
has to
unless
happen.
they finished
Something
early, I
has to
think we're... Brian thinks Brock Lesnar's about to show up. Everyone else is saying John Cena. I think it's going to be Kurt Hawkins.
I'm going to say No Way Jose comes out with a conga line full of released wrestlers.
Yeah. That's how they should do it. Right, so who's coming for the save? Who was Edwards paired with?
Davey Richards, his former tag team partner.
Let the man have his moment. He's world champion.
On a night we are about to celebrate. And these two now are going to take out this champion before he even has a chance to crack the champagne.
On a night when we are about to celebrate.
Okay.
Good brothers are in the house, apparently.
Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, the Good Brothers are here, and they're gonna make their impact on Gallows and Anderson.
Did you see Gallows just...
He almost, he almost pulled a Shockmaster.
Well, this could be a hell of a foursome, I'll say that.
What a moment.
I mean, this would have been better if we didn't know they were coming tonight.
Yeah.
I like their music.
Yeah. Are they going to attack Eddie?
All right, so for anybody that's not watching, the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson came out, teased to be on the side of
Austin and Fulton.
Ace Austin, but turned on him, and now they're kind of joining up with Eddie Edwards as they beat up on Fulton and Austin.
Killer by the Good Brothers. Battle lines drawn tonight.
All right.
And the Good Brothers have a line
Is
that it?
next to the new
I think so.
world champion.
That's a little disappointing.
God, crack the beers. Get the champagne going.
Here it comes.
They're all drinking beers. They're celebrating Eddie's win.
Oh,
We saw the magic
Luke, you're just clumsy today. Slipping on ramps.
Yeah, Luke. I think Luke is already lit before he came out. He's slipping. He's failing to catch beers.
Talking shop koozies.
And there's 3 Good Brothers there tonight.
And probably says, wait for it. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for something.
What a surprise to end the night of surprises. The Good Brothers.
I'm waiting for something.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us.
I'm waiting.
What's this? All right. 3. Oh, we've got the 3.
All right. That's
Okay, right. So at the end, we had a black screen with 3 like white lines signaling 3. We see the hooded man turns round. It's EC3 with a stash and smashes his empty glass of whiskey at the wall.
Dark Lotus, all that hype for nothing. Okay, we had EC3, we had Gallows, we had Anderson, we had Eric Young, we had Rich Swann, kind of. We had Heath Slater, we had Motor City Machine Guns. That's eight people returned tonight. I mean, it might not be who you wanted, but that's 8 returns, 8 surprises.
I think they build it up too much, personally. I like nothing against those guys, but like they kind of shot themselves in the foot by doing. But that being said, did they? Because hey, if you spent money based on waiting for a surprise, you might not buy again next time because you might feel a bit anti it. But hey, the room was busy. There a lot of people seemed curious in the show tonight, so they kind of promoted well, I guess. And I think the Good Brothers angle at the end might have been better if we didn't know they were signed, if it wasn't so public. And the EC3 thing at the end, like, well, he wasn't there, but...
Well, what he needs to do is he needs to hype up Tuesday and say he's coming, but he's not coming alone. And then bring a little bit more hype to it. Because you remember he still had the 3 glasses. So still, you know, who are the 3 people that were having the shots of, you know, whiskey, whatever it was? It should still be a 3-person stable. Unless that's Eddie.
No, I
the
think
Good Brothers.
It's just 3, as in EC3. I think that's all it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Brandon from New Jersey says, "What was the big debut?" I don't know. It could be EC3. It could be the Good Brothers. It could be Heath Slater. It could be Eric Young, the Motor City Machine Guns. There was a lot of surprise, but I guess EC3 I guess is the big surprise at the end of the show. John Taylor says, "Pretty much the people that I expected to show up, but this isn't going to win me over to watch Impact after tonight."
I think that's the problem. Like, I've seen some Impact episodes on TV recently that I've actually really enjoyed, and I think I don't think this was enough to win over people and have them come back.
No. EC3 was too predictable. Good Brothers, we already knew about that. Eric Young is like, okay. There wasn't like a big shock, at all. Nobody was a shock. The biggest shock was probably the Motor City Machine Guns, but not big enough to like make noise.
And it
know
also
what I mean?
it opened the show, which was great, but like you've moved on from it by the end.
The thing Impact had a big opportunity here to really make some noise. They could have like put somebody on their show, and everybody would have been talking about them tomorrow instead of WWE or AEW, and they failed. They kind of dropped the ball on that one. Maybe they couldn't get who they wanted. It could have been Rusev. Maybe they had to like have backup plans because of what happened. But this is like a big opportunity. It's probably the biggest buzz that Impact has had in a long time, and I feel like they really dropped the ball on it. They could have definitely capitalized on it.
I would say from the point of like having big moments on a show, I think that under-delivered. But that being said, I think they've really bolstered their roster. Like when you look at the people they've got now, I think you've helped out that tag division a bunch, which desperately needed it, in my opinion, because you kind of just had the North there on their own. So having Motor City Machine Guns, having the Good Brothers, that bolsters that a lot. Having someone like an Eric Young there and an EC3, I think that's a good thing. I think their roster looks way better now than it did before, but just from, you want that big surprise, and we didn't really get it, did we?
No, like you said, the tag team division definitely got boosted with the Good Brothers, Motor City Machine Guns. Maybe Heath Slater and Rhino have a tag team.
Yeah, that's the other one.
So that definitely helped out, but you didn't have that big surprise. Like EC3, like, okay, I understand he was a big deal in Impact, but not big enough for somebody who doesn't watch Impact to start watching it, because he's already been there. It's already something that's happened. I don't think it's going to attract any new viewers whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, Kmu has just asked the question if we're going live for a review on the Post Wrestling page 2. We are not, but that's going to kind of bring this to an end here, because I am going to be recording right now with Nate Milton and John Pollock for a show that will go on the free feed for Post Wrestling just in a couple of hours. So have a look out for that. But if you enjoyed this watch along tonight, we try and do this for pretty much every pay-per-view going. So join us again tomorrow, because we've got Extreme Rules. And yeah, so this has been a lot of fun. I'll just get some final thoughts from John before we go. And tomorrow we'll be doing the Extreme Rules watch along. And if you want to stick around for a post show, we will be doing that too. And it won't just be me with John Siino. We'll be joined by some other guests as well. So I expect tomorrow's going to be a lot of fun. Some crazy matches have been advertised. But final thoughts, John, on, let's say, rating out of 10. What was your favorite match? What was your least favorite match? And yeah, like one final thought as well.
I like Chris Bay and Willie Mack, definitely, but my match of the show was probably Deonna Purrazzo and Jordynne Grace. I think they had probably the best like build up, and the outcome was pretty good overall. The whole mystery thing, they hyped it up a little bit too much in my eyes, but I understand why they would do it. They probably like did good as far as getting people to watch it. I don't know what their like buy rate's going to be or whatnot on the pay-per-view, but I feel like they probably definitely got more people talking than usual, so that was good. But the negative about that is how many people are going to be talking about this after tonight. Like, I feel like they might have drove away fans because they didn't deliver like they probably expected to. Overall, maybe like 6.5 out of 10, 7 out of 10 probably. Those two matches alone, though, the X Division and the women's match, definitely were top of the line. But then the women's gauntlet match was embarrassing. Like I said earlier, if you were hyping up the women's Impact division is one of the best divisions in wrestling right now, and then they tune in and they watch that, and you see Johnny Bravo come out dressed as Rosemary, dressed as Taya. Like, it's embarrassing. You don't need to see like cross-dressing in wrestling in 2020. So that definitely was a turn-off. But most of the matches were like okay, but those two matches that I mentioned earlier were definitely the top matches of the show. But this wouldn't be enough to have somebody tune in or DVR on Tuesday to watch Impact. Definitely didn't leave that impression on me.
Absolutely. So, well, you can hear all my thoughts with John and Nate, so I'll leave what I have to say to then. John, thank you, as always. You've been fantastic. I pretty much agree with what you said there. If you want to stick around, I'm going to cut off the feed now, but I believe the chat room still keeps going for a little bit, so you can finish off your conversations, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. So, John, give us a quick goodbye.
Yeah, watch us tomorrow, guys. We're going to see eyes being pulled out. We're going to see alligators, a whole bunch of swamp fights, whatever the case may be. If you want to see more watch-alongs, join the Facebook page. Have any suggestions, whether it be video game watch-alongs or any sort of like, PlayStation group plays, whatever the case may be. Just give us some ideas, man. We're up for anything.
Absolutely. So, yep, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and you've just found us, so you'll always know when we're going live. Download our show, our free show every week. UpNXT, just type in UpNXT wherever you get your podcasts if you are new to us. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/UpNXT. Our Twitter is at UpNXT Podcast, and you can follow me at Davie Portman and John at Cno Evil. My usual partner in crime at Braden Harrington, and as John mentioned, the Facebook page UpNXT Podcast, and follow that UpNXT group. So thank you, goodbye, be safe, ahoy!